As was mentioned in the chat previously, the person doing the last time, this time, will be Brian. Go, Brian.
Last time on Shadows of Gradiriel, we did a few things. Most notably, Locke and Cad wound up turning into fucking Sonic the Hedgehog with a smaller Sonic on his shoulders to catch up to this little halfling shit who had been spying on us from a distance. We beat the crap out of him, knocked him out to do a very clutch roll from me. That was just at his HP. If it had been over, I would have killed him, but I didn't, so he's unconscious, so yay, interrogation. We hauled his ass back to our campsite, put him in front of the fireplace, interrogated him for a while, and learned some critical pieces of information. For one thing, the person who is going so far out of his way to try and put Cad in prison forever and ever is actually Noro, the little necromancer dick shit we encountered earlier in the campaign, who also happens to have relations in some capacity to Oak. And so we were able to then elucidate this individual, fill him in on some details about Noro he might not have been privy to before, such as Noro's a fucking psychotic necromancer, and that was something that Locke took it upon himself to educate this man on over the course of several hours by reading straight from Noro's journal into his mind with awakened mind, while keeping him from running away by counterspelling every teleport he tried. Which, that was one of my more clever moments, not to toot my own horn, but, We got in touch with an individual whose name I do not remember, from the city we were heading towards, Kabbretten, and that individual was supposed to come up and Kabbretten, whatever the fuck. Kabbretten, Karakol, Kitskock, I don't fucking know. They all sound the same to me.
Thank you. Jeez.
Look, I don't know why I'm so hyper all of a sudden. Give me a break. We contacted an individual from Kabbretten who, as we cut off last session prematurely because I had to go get my mom, was coming up to say hello to us and learn the situation. I will not be having to leave partway through this time because I went through the process of, actually telling my mom I wouldn't be there tonight so she can walk home on her own damn time. Sorry, Mom, not to be rude or anything. She doesn't watch this. Why am I apologizing to her? If she ever does watch this, that's going to get me a slap in the back of the head. So, yeah, that is our recap.
Very well done. Good job.
Energetic is what it was. Holy shit.
Yeah, kinda.
Why am I hyper? Why am I hyper? I don't get it.
As was said in the really well done recap, you guys were waiting for, with a little help from Oak, to use message to speak to this person whom he has not met before. You got in touch with Terrance, the Blinkling mage that had helped you and Cad and everyone escape previously, to get Terrance to meet you guys out here, and so that you could tell him about Noro and see if you could do something about this potential spy, whether or not you're going to, whatever it is your plan is to deal with said spy. The scope of plans was if Terrance had the capacity to use a teleportation circle, which is what he used to get you guys to Yukiegi, he could potentially send the spy away, far away, to make it harder for him to get back to Kabbretten, and then therefore Noro. Or you could let him go free, or you could the problem was you didn't have a place to send him to. The only thing that you knew of was to send him to Yukiegi, and you weren't going to do that because you wouldn't want to put Locke's mother in danger.
Yeah, Locke's kind of protective of his folks at this point.
Right.
But portals can be, one portal can go to multiple locations or something, right? Because you have to, attune them where they're going to or something?
As it stands, the way teleportation circle works is a permanent teleportation circle is only place any permanent teleportation circle is always an end. You can't use a teleportation circle to go to a place unless there's a circle there already. So the only teleportation circles that you guys as players know of is there was a teleportation circle in Yukiegi for Locke's house, or Locke's mother's library. There's also still a teleportation circle to get to Seven Nora that Locke knows of but has never really used. There's a teleportation circle to get into Kabbretten. Because there was a permanent one in the location that you guys teleported away from. And there may be others throughout Gladriel or other places that you don't know of just yet. But Terrance would be able to make use of that circle to make use of any of those potential options, and may even have more. So
Kind of makes me wish I hadn't broke Noro's teleportation circle back in his cave, because then we could just chuck this guy there and let him see Noro's work firsthand.
that would
But
be
I broke
interesting.
that circle. But
Yes,
I
you
broke
did.
that circle, so he can't go there.
Yep. So one thing I mentioned the kinds of items that Rickwick had on his person, like his possessions. Did you guys actually take those, or does he still have them?
We would take the components and stuff off of him.
Yeah.
But he had, along with his components and whatnot, he had the 20 gold, the 1 platinum piece, and the random pretty blue gem.
Right, yeah. Remember we took those off of him.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Did we
'Cause I
divvy
wanted
up
to-
the money or anything? I don't remember.
Oh,
Neither do I.
Yeah, but you gave the platinum back to Locke?
Did he?
Yeah, because I remember. Wait.
How many
I-
platinum was it?
it was 1. Just a single 1.
Oh, then.
Yeah, because I thought it was because a slight payback for the platinum that Locke gave Cad for at the bar.
If
Ah.
my share was a platinum, then I would have given it back to him, yes. I don't
Okay.
remember that, but that is exactly what I would have done. So yeah, let's go with that.
It's just money. Who needs it?
Anyway, all right. We
That's
we
a
can,
joke. We desperately need money.
We can figure out how to split up the money and stuff like that after a bit. But I was just wanting to establish that the items and stuff that that Rickwick had on him, you guys have. Which you do. So, we open up with this with Terrance very much literally appearing on the scene. I don't have a token for him, so I'm just going to use a pretty little gemstone looking thing, because I do that for NPCs that I don't have a specific token for. Boop. And he very much just like appears because he's all about teleporting in a similar fashion to your little spy dude. And I'll also say that somewhere in the dialogue prior that there was another message that was sent out by Oak so that Terrance would know precisely where to come to. Because
Right.
in the last time, the only message that he gave was meet us outside of Kabbretten, which is relatively vague. So, yeah. Terrance appears, and he is, of course, a robed figure, blinkling, though he's hiding most of that when he travels around. And he appears, looks among you, sees Locke, sees the folks that he helped escape previously, and then he sees Oak, which he hasn't met before, and your lovely little spy. And the very first thing he says upon his arrival is, "Oh, great, him."
Oh, you're acquainted?
Unfortunately, and Rickwick is still gagged. Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
that's what I was remembering.
His hair like frazzled and the slight eye twitch of like not being able to sleep yet.
Oh yeah, Rickwick is in all kinds of a bad spot. Like as far as physically, he's tired. He's emotionally tired. He's mentally tired from the telepathy and the constant singing and whatever that was used to keep him from trying to relax and calm himself as best he could. And all sorts of other various things. So, upon it's kind of hard to tell because of the his gagged face, but you can just sort of see it in his eyes that upon seeing Terrance, Rickwick has also got this expression of, "Oh, great, him."
Acquaintances! Yay!
You don't like each other, I take it?
Not particularly, no. We, to make a long story short, we kind of grew up together, in the same school in Kabbretten, because, you know, being both mages and mage school and all that sort of fun stuff, and, he was the prodigy, and I was the troubled outcast, so.
Prodigy. Until he met Cad.
Well then.
Something like that. What did you do? Not that I'm complaining, but what did you do to him anyway?
We beat him up a little bit when we caught him spying on us. We tied him up. We took away his magic shit. We gagged him. I interrogated him telepathically for like hours, or something to that effect. And then I started singing at him whenever he tried to do anything and blocked all of his spells and kept him awake so he couldn't regain his power, and I could really use a nap.
You did take a nap.
Not as long as I would like.
Alright.
Well, okay. And I'm guessing that seeing as he works as a spy, as you just said, and whatnot, he was the one that gave you more information on Noro, or led to you learning more about Noro.
Well, he's the one who told us that Noro is the one who wants the elephant man over there in a cage.
That's where I was smiling.
We've had interactions with Noro in the past, far away from here, but we've met, and we're not on good terms. The guy's a necromancer.
I've never met him before.
Oh,
I have. And, yeah.
necromancer, lovely. That explains a lot, actually. Okay.
I'm sure it does. He's also completely and utterly insane. I pointed out, kidnapped him.
Oh, I knew that already. He's not exactly the central force in a lot of the corruption in Kabbretten, but he's a big piece of it. Somehow. I don't even understand how that works precisely, but, anyway. What was your plans to do with your lovely little spy? I assume you telling him about Noro and how Noro actually is led him to, you know, resign wanting to work with Noro again, because if Rick's always wanted to save his own hide over anything else. So, what do you want to do with him?
Mostly we were just hoping you could punt him to some other part of Gradiriel via a teleportation circle so that, you know, he'd have a hard time coming back and reporting to his big boss. Longer it takes him to get back, the better.
Send him somewhere.
But, wait.
Hmm?
He's a mage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we send him somewhere else, he can just simply go, like, get the supplies he needs and just teleport back somewhere in Kabbretten.
It would still take time.
It would still take time, but by the same token, he would have to find someone who knows how to do teleportation circle, because he does not. Last I checked.
But he blinks.
That's not the same thing.
Blink is not the same as a teleportation circle.
Yes, but I thought they might have been in the same wheelhouse.
I mean, yeah, they are, but
It's same wheelhouse, but different spokes of the wheel.
and I mean, yes,
Okay.
a lot of people that can make use of Blink and Dimension Door and other various things eventually will learn things like Teleportation Circle, but Teleportation Circle is more often used for someone who's a lot more grounded, or someone who wants to have a place of, like, a base of operations, so that you can easily teleport yourself back to that base of operations later. And he points over to the completely, like, gagged and all spy mage. He always wanted to be a little bit more mobile, so I don't think he learned Teleportation Circle last I checked. And besides, if he wanted to learn Teleportation Circle, he would have to come to me to get the runes to learn how to get to Kabbretten.
Ooh.
No,
I mean, he wouldn't necessarily
wait,
have
no.
to come. He would not necessarily have to come to me, but if he used teleportation circles himself to get to Kabbretten, I would have seen him. I maintain that spot. So, I don't think he knows it, but if he does, that's neither here nor there. However, if we do want to send him somewhere else, does it have to be within this kingdom?
Well, I mean, I don't want to be a total dick.
Wait, there's other kingdoms?
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry, this is out of character.
our map is just a map of the kingdom we're in. There's a whole planet outside of that.
Did you actually finish him?
Way to spoil the next season.
I have not made any other maps for it, no. But yes, it was my thought. It was a thought in my mind that more maps and more continents and more kingdoms and things would be potentially offered in this world that I have created. I have just not officially made anything yet because I am not an artist. So,
Okay.
I was going to commission to the lovely artists in our group, hello Brian, to try to build my other places at a later date. At the current moment, yeah. If you're okay with it not being here, I could send him to a place where he could eventually find his way back, but it would take time. And I doubt he would be able to have access to a teleportation circle when he goes to a kingdom where he doesn't know anybody.
Is it a kingdom where he'd be likely to be killed on sight or harmed on sight? I mean, again, I don't
No.
want to be a total dick here. I want to delay the crap out of him, but
No. As long as he doesn't do anything completely stupid, he'll be fine.
Well, we keep him tied up, stick a note to him.
If found, please adopt. Parentheses and feed.
Yeah,
No,
sure, why not? Let's go with that.
I pull out a piece of parchment and write down on it, "Please give to a good home." And then just slip it into the ropes that we have bound around. Like, here you go, little buddy. Ruffle his hair a bit and give him this cheeky little grin. And telepathically, I'll just say, "I'm sorry. I just gotta play along. It's too funny. I'm sorry. And then I'll cut the link and walk away.
P.S. If little man is grumpy, he needs a nap really bad.
Give more milk.
Give more milk. Oh, I feel bad now. I feel real bad for going along with this.
I'm sorry, but we have to do this now. We have to. It's amazing.
I already stuck the "please give to a good home" note to it.
You know what? Yeah, and this is Terrance talking. You know what? Yeah, this will be good, and
And the best part is, if you two don't get along, you can lord it over him.
oh yes, of course.
Comeuppance.
Do you still have your telepathic link?
I can turn it on whenever I want, as long as I'm close enough. Why?
'Cause I want to know his reaction to this, And Terrance moves over closer to him. And he
I
goes,
initiate the link.
Hey,
know-
something's gonna happen. How do you feel?
I know exactly where I'm going to send you. The place where, those of my kind were born. And last I checked, you don't like that place. And not very
I
many
have the
people-
link set up, so how's the spy
Yeah.
reacting?
He's like, no. No, 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 no.
He starts trying to wiggle away.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm actually going to roll a dex save for him to try to get out of these binds.
He'll need a pretty high DC, and I imagine he's gonna be a disadvantage, right? Because he's so damn tired.
Oh yeah, he's definitely
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be a disadvantage.
Exhaustion and all that. Guess that's one.
Okay.
Yay!
That's better. 20 and 10.
now. So yeah, no. Okay. So that's gonna be the way it is then. If you're ready for me to send him away, I can totally do that.
Terrance, do the thing.
Then Terrance sets up the teleportation circle temporarily somewhere over here, and once he's done through all the steps, of course, the runes and shapes for this particular teleportation circle, no one here knows, and you have an attached note to him, and as he's finishing up with the circle, he sort of looks to Oak, and he goes, "You're the cleric that spoke to me before, I guess, considering that none of them are clerics, and it was a cleric that spoke to me before. Do me a favor. There is another Blinkling far from here, much older, by the name of Amos. A-M-O-S, Amos. Send out one of your magic cleric message things, and get in touch with him that he has a gift coming in the Vin's teleportation circle. Just so that he's not completely surprised to see a random halfling.
A gift?
A surprise.
He'll know what I meant. My grandfather's he likes to have fun just as much as the next halfling. So,
Okay.
yeah. And Oak is like, okay, I can do that. And then teleportation circle is finished, or getting to the last little cusps of the finish, because of course the teleportation circle only lasts like 6 seconds. And once he's getting to the final pieces, he's like, okay, so are we going to have... Is somebody going to shove him in, or is the elephant just going to toss him in, or what are we doing here?
So just grabs it up and picks him up and just toss him.
Okay, works for me. Finishes up teleportation circle, and phew. Boing.
So you wanted to know what his mental reaction was to all of that?
Yeah, I'm assuming no. Lots of times.
Spot on.
What's up?
It sounded like, and then I'll actually awaken mind with Terrance and just repeat what I heard in as close of approximation to Week's voice as I can. Man, it's just no, please, no, mommy, no.
Please, mommy, no.
I don't want anything good. I swear.
See, he does need a good home. And a nap. And a hug.
And more food.
We are
Oh,
such assholes.
He just needs a hug.
oh, my granddad's gonna love this. Okay. So
So we're gonna call you up every now and then when we find someone we don't like, and you just boot them somewhere else.
I
I
wouldn't.
have a
Have
problem with this thing. I resolve it by putting it somewhere else. That sounds great.
Yeah, let's not do that too much.
Joke.
Okay, so
Funny one.
now that that's done, was there anything else that you guys required my assistance for? Not that I don't enjoy the excuse to get out of town, but
We need a way into Kabbretten.
And yeah, we could also probably use some help dealing with Noro. He's kind of the reason we're here at this point.
not that I don't think he needs to be dealt with, but you do realize that that's going to be a bit. You're going to have to get him out of his out of town in order to have any luck with that. Just simply because if you try to attack him in his own home or whatever in Kabbretten, he's got a ton of stuff to protect him.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Because I'm working to stop him too. That's how.
He's one of the local lords, right?
I thought
Something
he was
like
a mortician.
I mean, yeah, he a little of both, as it were. He sort of got his start as a mortician, and then he sort of rose up in ranks when he showed potential and power and capabilities and had means to make big criminals just disappear somehow.
Which I very much doubt he actually did make disappear.
I don't know. If he's a necromancer, maybe he did actually make them disappear just so that he could raise them from the dead. I don't know. But he is of a big political power, and if you go back into town just to, I mean, what is your goal with that? Other than stopping him.
Ultimately, from my standpoint, just so long as he's no longer a threat to us, I'm fine with it. I imagine some of our number probably want a more blunt approach. I sort of look over at Silver as I say that.
What? I was gonna go after the warden.
I mean, yeah, but you're after corruption in Kabbretten in general, aren't you?
Yes,
Nora fits that bill.
I know.
Hmm.
One step at a time.
Fair
If
enough.
he's in the inner ring and stuff, you gotta start low and start chiseling away.
I suppose.
So in that respects, then you want to go for the warden and not straight for Nora, then.
Indeed.
I want to go towards warden.
Yeah.
They can...
Question. I'll pull out Noro's journal and do you think this would be of any help in luring him out? There's a lot of damning information in here.
That looks like a really old book. I'm guessing it's his.
It's his, or his journal.
I
I stumbled on it last time we bumped into him in a cave where I guess he
Ooh.
had a little hidden lab or something.
Oh, question.
Hmm?
How much paper can we all get a hold of?
How much
I
what?
am currently carrying paper because paper seems relevant to my interests. I have 10 pieces of parchment.
Oh, we would need a lot more than that.
Hmm.
Like hundreds.
How
So you
come?
cut each one into 10 pieces.
I have 9 sheets.
No, what we can do is make copies of entries in that from the book and spread it, post it around town.
The problem is that might just come off as slander unless we could perfectly match the handwriting. And it could very easily be dismissed as such, if we mess up on that.
Oh,
If
that's
he
the
didn't
thing.
want to
It
think-
is. We are slandering his name.
It's not, well, okay, it's not liable if it's true. I suppose it is slander, though. I don't really know the definition of slander. In real life, I also don't really know the definition of slander other than it means doing something that makes someone else look really, really bad, usually by talking about them in some way.
Well, is there a
So-
way we can prove that he's a necromancer? Because if we can make that out in the open, the public is going to call for something to be done, and so other higher ups that are corrupted will be forced to do something about it.
Just to hold on to their own positions, yeah.
Yeah, and we have a witness here, Jesters to Oak.
This is true.
So
Three, actually, if you count Young and me as well. We were both there when he got nicked, and we pulled his ass out of the zombie cave he was dragged to.
good point. And we get him in the zone of truth, and whoever, if he is able to resist, we know for sure he's lying. And that would be known, like, you can't believe anything he says because he's lying.
Yeah.
So if we can get him in a court or something.
So we get, and this is Terrance. So first we get you guys back into Kabbretten, and then having done that, you work on exposing Noro. Maybe putting out copies of his journal or something like that. That's most definitely going to lure him out. So,
I'll lure him out, but that's the thing. We need other people to slightly throw him under the cart.
right, yeah. And then, well, what I can tell you, to go with that is that might actually line up with your previous interest as well, because the warden works under Noro directly,
Ooh.
due to the fact that a lot of criminals and things that he was working with as a mortician came from the prison, which is where the warden works. So,
Hmm.
and the warden,
Silver slightly looks at Locke. I wonder what the warden has told Nero.
Indeed.
the warden is a coward by all stretch of the imagination, and he is not a fighter. So, being able to deal with him is relatively simple if you don't get yourself into trouble with like the guard and everything else aside from that. However, it seems as though something has been going on with the warden here lately, where his house and office was vandalized, so he's got his security up a little bit tighter.
What do you mean vandalized?
Someone carved greed or something on his wall. I don't remember.
Okay, it was not on his wall. It was on the wall next to the wall on
wall
the
nearby.
wall on the building. Yes, to the building.
Yeah. Basically, there's been vandalism in and around where the warden is, and because he is a coward, he has sort of upped his security a bit.
I like how no one caught that.
Huh. Paranoia. I'll stab you in the foot every time.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
you know that my whole interaction was in character, right?
yeah, I know.
Okay.
What do you mean no one got that? Were you the one that did the?
Oh no, that part was actually out of Sorry.
No, I mean, I got it. I got that it was in character. I was just keeping quiet because it was Silver's interaction.
Okay. Well, either way, if we are going to get you guys back inside, we're going to have to do something to disguise who you are.
Oh, we already got him all figured out.
Yeah,
So
Cad can do a fancy, awesome thing now. I'll sort of nod at Cad as if to say, "Do the thing."
I throw the hat on my head, and in a moment I look like Terrance, and with a grin, I sort of nod emphatically at him, and then I take the hat back off. Poof.
giant me, okay. I get it. I had a disguise. Okay, so I would assume you would use that to disguise yourself as not someone who that you already know, so that you can have a different identity.
Oh, we already worked out what he's going to be a while ago.
Okay, so what do we do about well, the warden's got the place on high alerts for not just Cad or anyone matching, not just for Cad, but also for you, Locke.
You see, if you just had let me borrow Yang for one night, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Hmm.
Borrow me for one night? What are you thinking over there?
I needed you to unlock the door to the house so I could get in.
Okay.
And then we wound up not doing that. I don't quite remember the details. It's been a while.
Well, now there's a lot of guards and we can't do that.
Right.
Okay.
So either we send him on a wild goose hunt to get the guards away, then sneak in.
Well, first priority is getting into the city itself.
Well, assuming you guys can have those of you who need to be disguised in some way can be disguised, then getting you in town is easy. I just used teleportation circle to get you guys back into the mage's quarter in Kabbretten.
Right, well, Cad's covered in terms of disguise, but I don't really have anything on me that can deal with me.
You know, you and Yang bought shit at that small town.
We did?
Yeah, you do have stuff for potential disguises.
For disguise kit.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I never wrote that shit down in my inventory because I'm a fucking dumbass.
No. Roll with it in character. I've missed a few good nights rest since then.
Right.
All right. So
Okay, well, I don't know the first thing about using this thing. I say as I remember I even have it and fish it out.
Yang speaks up. I kind of do. It's just been a while.
Oh.
But we can put that together and then just I guess teleport back into Kabbretten.
Sounds good to me.
And reasonably so. When I left from the mage's quarter, they didn't even know that I was leaving or what I was leaving for. So I've just found a group to let's see. What sort of story do we want to run with of you guys then? Because people are going to be curious why I leave and then suddenly reappear in the mage quarter with 5 extra people.
You needed outside expertise on shit?
True.
Either that or students interested in learning more about the city and its history with magic.
Oh yeah, become a tour guide.
Hey, Terrance.
Hmm?
I have an idea.
Extra
Okay.
money on the side.
So we were travelers from far off, and we got most of the way there, and heard that maybe you'd be willing for a small fee to teleport us the rest of the way. And our feet are so tired.
Okay.
Also, you made a teleportation circle to send the other guy off. If we like hide or camouflage the circle, could we keep it intact so if we ever needed an emergency out of the city, we could come back outside the walls through that portal?
Unfortunately, no. Um,
Oh.
in order for a teleportation circle to be, because even at this point, as Terrance is speaking and this conversation has been happening, the teleportation circle that he used to send Rickwick away has slowly, not necessarily slowly, but it has faded because a teleportation circle needs to be used continuously multiple times in the same location for it to become a permanent circle, as well as it has to have runes adjusted to be a circle for a different spot. So,
This was a one-time. This was an in circle. The out circle is the one that lasts.
So
the
what if when we're done making our plan, you draw up a circle to send us back into Kabbretten, and then we hop back through it and come out this end, and hop back through it and go out that end, or something?
it doesn't last
If that
long
even
enough.
works.
It doesn't last long enough for it to work that way.
Oh.
But I mean, again, you guys are all friends with Locke, so if you guys need a quick exit out of Kabbretten, then you simply come to me again, or I make use of the teleportation circle to send you to Yukiegi, to Locke's mother.
Yeah, that would probably work. That's our emergency.
Yeah.
I just
Slightly
couldn't.
worrisome,
I
though.
just couldn't send you here. Although I could send you to where I sent him if you wanted to go there, but
No, that's a bit far, I think.
Yeah, that's really far.
yeah.
No. How did that go? No.
You missed a few. You missed a few mommies and I've been goods in there, but yeah, you got the gist.
Yes. I wouldn't recommend it anyway. The places. It's not the best place for certain races.
Hmm.
So
So
thankfully,
let's get our story. So let's get our story straight then. Where our options were either outside expertise, curious students, or just travelers who happen to take advantage of Terrance's hospitality. Which one do we want to go with?
I have been known to help people, so I think the wary
Family friends. He's helping family friends. That's what we are.
well, I think helping wary travelers is the best way to get you in here, get you in there, allow you to do various things that are not necessarily connected to me, just in case something happens. And yeah, if you're just wary travelers that have paid for my services, then that allows you to make what you will with my once you've arrived. And seeing as how some of you look to be pretty tired, as much as you would want to go and do something with the warden, it might do you good to catch a rest for a bit while scoping out what's going on with the warden.
Which would also aid the cover story. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Sounds like a plan. But before that, I come over to this tree, I sit down cross-legged, I look at Young, and say in a completely serious voice, "Do my makeup." Locke gets weird when he's tired, all right?
Cue a questionably epic montage of makeup.
Of making Locke look like someone else.
I mean, with it being
Sorry.
wrong to do it, yes, it would actually kind of do that.
Silver's just gonna be like, oh, you should put some purple over here across the.
Make you fucking look like a drag queen.
Yep.
Oh God, no.
No, we're just turning into someone that looks like a bard. Okay, you'll be fine.
So Young is clearly out of practice.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no.
She has enough supplies to sort of retweak it and try again.
Can she get advantage because Silver's helping
Yeah,
by
because Silver's
looking
like
over her
pointing
shoulder?
things out.
Yeah.
Just like do this and try
Sure.
that.
There you go.
Whatever,
There you go.
whatever messes up has to be purple.
Yep. So you got purple on your face now. So
I'm Spyro. Firebolt.
I mean, you theoretically could be like a purple tiefling or something. I don't know.
I don't have the tail.
just tie
So,
a rope to your waist. Paint
um,
that purple.
All right. So
Oh.
that's done.
How do I look?
Well, whatever sort of disguise you wanted Young to do with, well, I guess whatever disguise Silver wanted to help push her into.
No, she's just telling her different like things to do. Just like do this in that color.
So if you told her multiple different colors, then you look sort of rainbowy-ish.
Hi, I'm
Um,
Rainbow Dash, and I'll be your warlock for the day. Eldritch Blast!
That's actually
Right.
pretty spot on. That's kind of scary. Anyway,
Well, I mean, I do her voice so weirdly often, you know?
anyway.
Okay.
So, with that,
It's now Silver's turn to get a disguise on.
yeah.
Okay, now do her makeup.
No, Young already used a disguise kit.
Well, the disguise kit-
multiple uses?
The disguise kit
does
itself
it
is the disguise
Multiple
kit.
uses?
The disguise kit is the stuff to make the disguises. The thing that's multiple uses is the materials. Young had the disguise kit, she just never used it and didn't have the materials. She bought enough materials to give disguises to everybody that would need a disguise, which included herself, you, and
Locke.
Locke. I
I
don't
can't
think
remember. Can't Oak do something?
um
The furbog thing?
I mean, yeah,
Just
but
as
the
high.
invisibility doesn't last that long, nor does his alter self, because it's a racial thing, so it doesn't last as long as a normal spell. But by all accounts,
That's the thing.
Since-
We just need it to last long enough to get him in a room.
yeah, I mean, he could. There could be ways to get around that, but there's enough disguise stuff to disguise the three of you. So, yeah. Is Locke going to help disguise Silver?
Yes, of course. Absolutely. Give Young advantage.
Indeed.
I give him the whiskers, turn that eye black. That's good.
Alrighty, 19. Silver's is slightly better than Locke's was. And now Silver has got a get up about her that's not her normal self, as it were.
Except her outfit is the same.
I'm
Well, I
so
mean,
fine,
her-
but I wear a lot of
her,
rags, so-
her features and things are different, so that she doesn't look the same as what would be the descriptions of her, which would technically be mostly her outfit. But anyway, so now comes the fun part. How is Young supposed to use the disguise kit on herself?
That's where Locke comes in. I
You
believe.
paint it backwards and then smash your face down on it.
Does not work that way.
Okay, okay. Shall we, Silver? Apply this thing?
We can try.
Okay. What do I need to roll? Or rather, what is the thing that he's rolling? Then which of us has the higher?
The use of a disguise kit is an intelligence roll.
Okay, my intelligence is +1. What's your bonus? There's Silver.
Oh, I'm to what?
Intelligence.
bonus.
Ah, 1.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys need some help?
What's your intelligence bonus?
3.
The elephant is applying makeup to the dwarf.
Okay.
And that is my first out of context D&D quote for the day.
Also, furbugs can disguise self, so they can. It lasts for 1 hour.
Nice.
So, how ironic would it be if I turn into the dwarf that is painting the dwarf because the dwarf cannot paint herself unless someone turns into her to paint her?
That's not how that works, but sure.
What?
Oh. So what? An intelligence check
Yeah,
Yep, and
intelligence
get
check with advantage.
Because us two are helping you.
at advantage?
Yep.
Yep.
Yay. Boop. I mean, I watched y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Young is
So-
just the worst of us.
Yeah. That was really weird for you looking like me when you did that, but okay. Okay, so,
for dramatic effect.
right. Alrighty then, big guy. So,
The session
Weird.
is hilarious so far, and I'm loving every second of it.
we are now disguised, and it is now time for us to make our way to Kabbretten, and,
Out of character, I have a question. I'm perusing all of my notes and all of my everywhere that I normally jot things. I remember I was a tall, lithe elf in like a cloak.
Shadowgrass.
Was it Shadowgrass?
Yeah.
Grasp.
Oh,
Shadow-
grass.
Shadowgrasp. It is in none of my chat logs. It is nowhere to be found on Earth, so.
yeah,
I mean,
it
we
was
said it out
Shadowgrass.
loud. I don't know if you ever would have.
But I normally peanut gallery even while participating, and I could have, I could have sworn that we wrote it, but
Yeah, we
Okay.
probably did. Either way, it was Shadowgrass.
Well, I've been like digging through the full chat log and went all the way back to standing guard outside of a place where we got the hat, and I was like, no, that's too far. Guess we never said it.
We decided on the name in while we were in basically Vegas, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also.
Still feels
Yeah.
weird. Still feels weird for me to say that, but you know.
I mean, you got the hat in Vegas, so. So anyway,
So-
So I turn into that, and I would ask if I'd ask if Terrance thinks that this is an okay disguise.
Is it subtle enough for you?
it looks perfectly fine to me. You most certainly do not look like a Loxodon, so good enough for me.
Just
I
don't
sort
bump
of-
into anything.
I sort of do like a mini bow nod, sort of.
Now, for the sake of, and before Terrance sets up the or as he's working on the teleportation circle, he goes, now for the sake of transparency, all of the disguises and things that you guys just did is wonderful and hilarious and fun to watch, but just for the sake of putting it out there, I could have made all that a ton easier if you were willing to stay with me the whole time. But-
I touch my face. I touch my face for a second. Look at my hand with the sort of ashen look, and say, "I'm wearing makeup."
You just slowly drag a hand down your face.
No,
and
I'm not
say,
gonna.
"Okay,
No,
I'm
I'm not.
yours."
No, I'm not ruining the makeup. No, that they wasn't all that effort. I'm gonna keep it until we're in a room somewhere. But it's just I wasted my time. I let the ladies put makeup on me. Oh no.
The slow realization, like, what have I done?
What the fuck?
Can I like transform into Locke, including imitating his makeup job, so that he can thoroughly see what he looks like?
Oh yeah, of course.
I look at it. I look at it and be like,
You seem fine to me, buddy.
I put my eyes on the fire. The dog goes in and be like, it's so tempting. It's so tempting to just shove my head in there.
I sort of grab his elbow and sort of gently pull him away from the fire.
No, flame, it's wine. I sort of reach after it and this sort of, oh god.
You guys are a riot. It's great. Okay.
So wait, how could you have made it a whole audience
Oh,
better?
you're wondering about that?
Yeah.
Easy. Everybody give me something that's relatively close to the same size as you are that you would want to be at this given moment.
Tiefling?
Okay?
Dragon.
Loxodon.
Dragonborn, sure. I can do that. Unless you wanted to, because young dragon doesn't quite work because they don't have the same body style. But
No, I was.
Eh.
No, just elf.
okay,
A lot easier.
we'll say a tall half orc for the Loxodon over there.
Huge.
And then
Why not just make him a Goliath?
oh yeah, Goliath. Well, anyway, point being, and Terrance snaps his fingers and casts seeming.
I don't know what that is.
Seeming is
I
a
appear to be.
seeming is a blanket, basically a blanket minor illusion spell that can make multiple different people in a given radius appear to be someone else as long as it matches similar to Hat of Disguise.
Well,
basic-
we'll probably
So
use that
it's
later
totally
on.
appearing to be.
Seeming is basically a AoE Hat of Disguise.
So we could use that later and not use up the spell.
Right. I'm going to, of course, be getting rest, hopefully, and besides, I can cast this at least twice. But, point being, I could have done that, but it was fun watching you guys play around with makeup. So,
My patron had to see that.
The silver's just snickering.
Will he have to talk to you later?
Gods, I hope not. All right, let's get out of here. There are too many bad memories in this clearing now. Let's just go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Fuck it. We're leaving.
yes,
We're leaving.
yes. So, Terrance finishes up with the teleportation circle, and he's getting into the last sigil and glyph, and he's basically 3, 2, 1, go. You guys are back in Kabbretten in the Mage's Quarter, the library. You all sort of tumble into the space. A little bit less tumble than it was the first time you teleported because you're now a little bit more used to such a thing. At least those of you that teleported before. I'm gonna have Oak roll a dexterity thing because he is big and not used to teleportation circles. Okay, good. He's fine. And you have arrived in Kabbretten's sort of magey area as before. And Terrance is, alright then, here we are. So, what is your plan from this point?
Find an inn and bury my head in a pillow for a few hours so I can outlive my shame.
How long does disguises from Disguise Kit last?
Until you take
Until
them
you
off, I
remove it,
think.
right?
until you take them off or they erode away from natural effects, but that could take a while.
Right.
Yeah, or
He's gonna wake up and his makeup's gonna be smeared across his face.
well, doesn't it disguise kits give us a advantage on deception when people are trying to insight us or something? I can't remember.
Let me double check here.
How does disguise kit work?
Guys.
You don't have disadvantage to do it.
So I thought there was a way that people could actually see through it because of the roles of the disguise kits.
I'm assuming
wh-
that they would do an insight versus the rolled disguise, wouldn't they? Or something?
Yeah, that's
Or
probably it.
perception or something.
Yeah.
So Yang is the worst of us.
It would probably be insight. Because insight's
per-
the more social and perception
Mhm.
is like senses. If they have spidey senses, it'd be perception.
Blah 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 blah.
And that would be a goldfish.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, it's basically insight or perception to see through, depending upon how the individual person is seeing through it. If it would be an insight thing if it's in a social situation, but if someone's trying to see through it without interacting with you, it's perception.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And they wouldn't necessarily know exactly who you are if they made it. They would just know that you're wearing some makeup.
Yep, pretty much.
And they can confront you.
Yes, indeed. So, but it does last. It is cosmetics and makeup and stuff like that. So it lasts as long as something like that would normally last. So as long as you don't do anything out of your way to remove it directly, it's going to stick around until you don't want it anymore, basically. So you guys hop back into town, and you leave the mage's quarter. And as you're making your way out, Terrance is basically acting as a tour guide, as was mentioned before, and is directing you around to different places in town. The nearest inn.
It's like everyone look in awe and amazed, like, ooh, ah.
Tall. As I recall, didn't we have like the illusion set on us so we actually look like different things now?
He turned that off.
Okay.
He cast it to showcase that he could do it, but he turned it off afterwards because he didn't want to be concentrating on it for the sake of the joke, and you guys are going to be leaving his immediate vicinity later anyway. So
Right.
that was part of the reason why he didn't just opt to use it to begin with. That and because he liked to see you playing around with the disguise kit.
Little motherfucker.
He's a half. He's part halfling. He likes to have fun. Anyway, so you leave that. He directs you
We
to.
see the blinking.
He directs you to the nearest town, nearest inn, and you make your way inside. This is not as fancy as some of the other inns that you've been in, especially in Rydell, your Vegas. But this is, it's a little higher up sort of inn. It's just not as fancy. And Silver,
Mm,
I want you to do me a favor. Make for me a wisdom check. Or wisdom check. Because memory is wisdom check.
I am the best Batman.
Okay. How good was your disguise?
Mine was a 19.
Right, yours was the best of the three.
Yeah, it's mine, then Locke, and then Young's at 11.
Okay.
I am a silent wind of doom. Whoosh.
Okay. So, you make your way inside. There's a few guards that are posted here. It's sort of. It seems as though, since it's sort of the early morning, as was established earlier,
Oh no.
that the guards that are here, seem to be like the night shift that's getting ready, that's just finished up their post. They're sort of resting up, getting a few drinks or two before they, lay down for their sleep. And yeah, it's no one seems to give you any kind of weird looks or anything. You're just travelers passing through. They assume you've paid the toll because they didn't see you come in from the mage's quarter. But yeah, you can get you some rest.
I want to look around, see if just in case anyone is following us.
Yeah, make perception check. Those that want to look around and take a look around can make a perception roll.
Nope. Okay.
Well, you have
those nights.
one person that's most definitely going to get this. Boop.
Oh Jesus!
Hi, Cad.
I smell something good.
Yes, you do.
Now it may not smell good, but I smell it, good.
Yes, you do. It's peaceful. It's nice and calm, and the breakfast that is being prepared in this inn smells wonderful. We're talking like it's the place that Kenneth mentioned previously before the recording started of the restaurant of Panera is like for baked goods and things like that. It smells like a Panera up in here.
Well, I have no idea what that place is, so you're gonna have to find a different
fresh bakery bread.
Their menu has 3 main parts for lunch and dinner. It is a sandwich, or it is a soup, or it is a gourmet salad. It is fast food, but it is a country club of fast food. All the ingredients are organic, and nothing is not natural. So you are paying like literally almost bottom tier fine dining prices for some fast food, but it's some dang good fast food. I'm biased because I work there, but all of that is actually true.
All right.
Yep. So
I'll just
we're
imagine
talking.
it smells really fucking good and call it a day.
Indeed, it's basically gourmet bakery. And yeah, you realize, having smelled that, Cad, that you're probably fairly hungry for having only had rations for the past couple days, except for that one point in Rydell when you got some good food. But yeah,
So how expensive is the food in this place? You said it wasn't very upscale, right?
it wasn't. It isn't terribly upscale. It's about the same as Yuki-Egi it would be, so it's like 2 gold for a night and for food. But yeah, you very much pick up on this is like breakfast has just recently been made, and holy crap, does it smell good.
Are we being heavily observed at the moment, or are we
Nah.
just sort of bumps in the room?
Nope, no one's sort of giving you any sort of mind. Everyone here is either finishing up their evening routine because they're like a night shift, or they're just starting their morning routine, and you're not giving any kind of weird looks or anything.
So what's with? I'm still wondering what's that roll for?
Oh, yours?
No, the D20 plus 4.
Oh yeah. Let's just say that if that roll had been a 19 instead of a 17, someone that you encountered previously would have recognized you, but they don't.
Well, that's it. Okay. Well, that beats Locke and Yonks.
So it was specifically for you because you talked to a guard that was on the night shift before you saved Cad.
Oh God.
Uh-huh. Yeah, him.
I'm sure.
Oh God, that was a
if
great
you
way
said
to say
if
that.
you if he sat there and said something, it's like, oh yeah, you see this person over here, and Silver would be like, nope, don't look over there, go away.
Yeah, pretty much. You don't remember it very well because it's just like a passing thing. You remember that you talked you remember that you talked to a guard, but you don't necessarily have any recollection of what he looked like, other than being human. But yeah, you didn't recognize him being in here. But yeah, that's what I was making that roll for. I was seeing if he recognized you. But he did not. He did not roll high enough. So huzzah. Um, I like that thing in the chat that Cad just put. Silver, I regret nothing. Also, Silver sneaks away slowly.
Yep.
So yeah.
So I imagine that not like making a scene or a ruckus or whatever, but the tall, silent, moody, brooding Batman rogue elf person is very quietly and excitedly food, food.
Oak sort of
Yeah, sure
leans.
is.
Oak sort of leans over to you and he's like, "It does kind of smell good, doesn't it? You're probably hungry. Um, do you have gold for some food, or are you still sort of low on cash?"
Well, I'm low, but I have, so
Okay.
I could probably afford it.
Well, either way, we're probably going to be staying here for a little bit to get some rest. Maybe not for a night of rest, but yeah, there's rooms and space up for Locke to find a bed and just sort of and then there's food.
He just crashes in the lobby because it's free.
Does he actually crash in the lobby?
Probably not. He's actually thinking about it.
I mean, this is in reference to Locke. Locke has the capacity. Locke is tired, so he is either going to get a small room and crash in the lobby, or get some food, or what is Locke doing?
Okay, I'm going to have Locke get a simple warm loaf of bread, get a room, and fuck off there.
Works for me. All right.
Because he meant it when he said he wants a pillow to bury his shame in.
All right.
And then when you wake up, you can eat your pillow.
Shut up. One. Two, I actually have something I want to point out. Even through the makeup, the fact that he's having to wear it around in public, like you can see the red seeping through.
Great,
Like this fucker's turning into a tomato here, all right?
Oh, for Locke.
Burn it on myself.
Too
Walk
bad
right into that one.
Too bad you didn't make you a red tiefling, otherwise it wouldn't show. Anyway, so you get some rest. Everyone else gets some food if they want it. Silver doing anything specific for this couple hours that Locke is taking a nap?
No.
Okay. The glasses for like the drinks and things in this tavern are rather clean, and as a sort of little mini mirror, Young gets a sort of it's well, she saw an image of herself when Cad transformed into her previously to put the makeup on her, but she didn't see it after the fact, and she's surprisingly, I think I am better at applying that than the elephant.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm sorry. To the picture, I just gotta say, "Ka!"
Well, all right then. All right.
Like,
So,
Rose tried really hard not to laugh.
It's fucking great is what that shit is.
are you okay?
Fine, why?
Sound like your head is in a pillow.
Is it because
Made
it
of
is?
bread.
Fuck you, 1. 2, it's because it is in a pillow. I'm literally
Why?
hugging my pillow right now.
Method acting. Duh.
Well, that, and it's soft, and I wanted to hug something.
Aw.
I ain't ashamed to admit it, even though I'm a guy. I like hugs. Give me a break.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Every like is a hug for Locke.
If only internet hugs could be felt, they might be worth a damn.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Crap.
Noises.
That was the Nani impression from Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. That's a thing I remember happening. Because I used to watch that movie like a fuck ton.
Yeah, it was a
all
cute
the
movie.
time. One of my favorites.
So, Young, as Locke is getting his rest, Young speaks to Silver and... So, what exactly is our plan here? We're going to... What are you wanting to do with the warden? Anyway.
Can I convince him that he needs a new direction in life?
So scare him into not being the warden?
Scaring him into giving shit up and then leaving town and never coming back.
Okay. And do you have a plan on how to do that? Exactly?
Nope. Well, if I can... No, because we need to scope out the place first, see how many guards, and then figure out a way to draw the guards away.
Yeah. Okay. Well, considering he's the only one that's not really in a disguise, perhaps Oak can provide some form of a distraction to get the guards away. Hey, Oak. Oak is actually sitting at a table decent, a couple feet away from where you guys are. And Young sort of calls him over and... You were, Aw. I thought that was your cat, but that is just a pillow.
I said I was hugging a pillow. I was not kidding.
There. It'll all be okay.
I'm now just going to go ahead and press my pillow into the microphone. It's all okay. Sleep now.
What did the microphone do? No, it's okay. You don't have to do that.
Sleep now.
Poor microphone.
Just sleep. Only dreams. How much of what I was saying there could you actually hear?
That right there, not a
Try
whole
it
lot.
again.
Oh, okay. All right, interesting. Good to know.
It was like someone talking down the hall.
Okay.
It was a neat effect.
I'll have to try it out myself sometime, but I can't really hear it right now.
Yeah.
So, she sort of calls Oak over and she's, well, you were wanting to learn to be a bard. Maybe, have your first public performance to try to distract the guards? And say what? That I'm against the warden and try to scare them up to get them to come charging at me? Yeah, no.
Just
I don't know. Hey, Cad, do you have any, or Shadow Grasp, do you have any ideas on how we can distract the guards?
How about we are very mysterious and quiet?
No, there's only one person here that won't get in as much trouble as us if we're caught distracting the guards.
Okay. You're either talking about our rogue friend there, the elf, or you're talking about Oak.
Well, that's the thing. Well, I was mostly talking about Oak, since he's not wanted.
Not yet, says
Um,
Oak. Thankfully, this conversation is relatively quiet, and most of the guards have made their switch and are not in the room.
No longer around?
Yeah.
Otherwise, that'd be awkward.
Yeah, I thought we were in a tavern already.
You are. It's just the only person that's currently still in the tavern are the people that work in the tavern. And you're talking soft enough, and they're used to letting patrons, keep their conversations private, so they're not trying to listen in. You don't have anybody around in your group that seems to be suspicious other than the floating elf rogue person, but they're used to mercenaries and work for hire, so maybe.
Raises an eyebrow, but not both.
Precisely.
I think the worst idea possible would be that the only person who is not wanted becomes wanted someplace else, and then takes off running and they chase. That has got to be the worst idea.
Well, we need a plan either way, so I'm just trying to.
Right, it's just worrying about, if...
Caw-caw.
Hush, pigeon. It just, if...
Meta pigeon.
Yep.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm doing.
It's just saying if our elf friend here goes and helps, and then something goes down and the captured, they will find out he's not really that.
Right.
Be back to square one.
Scary square.
Scary square.
Alright. So maybe we wait for Locke and see if he has some ideas. He always seemed to have the crazy ideas, and he was the one that sort of led us to help dealing with Noro before, so I'm just wait for Locke to wake up.
Oh, I feel so wanted.
We all are, except for one of us.
Fuck you, first off. It's my catchphrase for the night, isn't it?
Apparently. So yeah. Well, I wanted to take a bit of a nap myself anyway, so
I guess we
Young
should
sort
go
of
rest
steps
up.
away, and then rest up. Those of you that wish to do so, get food. Those of you who wish to do so, and eventually, Locke has got.
Silver's actually going to stay down with patrons. Is this early afternoon or later afternoon?
By the time Locke probably wakes up from, how long was Locke sleeping?
Because I know we all did that whole dealing in the early morning.
Yeah, in the early morning.
So this will probably be like late morning or noon or so at this point. So when Locke gets up, I'll just say he gets up at like 1 or 2 p.m.
Yeah, so probably mid-afternoon or so by the time Locke gets back down there.
Yeah, around
Yeah.
2 p.m.
Silver's just staying down in the tavern area, just watching the people coming in and going.
Yeah.
So if there's any alarm, caca, escape.
Actually,
It'd be
make for me a
hilarious if Wesley came up.
make for me a perception roll.
Sure. It's gonna be another 7.
11.
17. Haha!
Oh, hey!
The fuck? Hacks! I call hacks! Hacks in our favor, but still hacks.
That was pretty cool. Anyway, for sake of those who can't see the screen, Silver did in fact just roll a 17.
The fuck?
What do I see? With my
Well-
God-sent powers.
Apparently. So you're sort of keeping an eye out on the different patrons around, and at this point, most of the guardsmen have sort of come and left, and you're just looking at like normal patrons passing through and things of that nature. And you see coming in this sort of. I'm getting an echo.
Mm-hmm. There you are.
Sounds like there's an echo.
There was. Seems to be gone now.
Okay. You see this human figure. He looks a little male, looks a little disheveled, and he's clearly not been sleeping well. And he sort of comes in, and I'm assuming, like Silver does most of the time, she's sitting at the bar and not one of the tables.
No, she'd probably be. She was kind of sitting off to out of the way and stuff, where she like it looks normal where she's at, but she's like keeping an eye on things, like watching the door and shit.
Okay.
Still looking casual.
All right. Fair enough. So he comes up to the bar, and he sits down and gets himself a drink, a little bit of food, and then he basically he hasn't even really drunk anything, and you're not even sure what kind of drink he got, but he very quickly, after taking a sip of the drink, he sort of just nods off in the chair, and the barkeep that was watching that served him the drink just you see a very present, because you're not necessarily close, you see her it's female, sigh, and she catches him to keep him from falling like and hitting his head against the counter, then just sort of rests his head on the counter. Sort of gives you the impression. Sort of gives
She's
you
just
the
like
impression
raising
of.
an eyebrow, like what?
Sort of gives you the impression of like kind of like town drunk, or something of the sort. But yet he didn't appear drunk when he came in, just disheveled and very tired.
Town narcoleptic.
That might be part of it too, or some element of such a thing. And he just, and of course, others in the room would be able to see this as well if Oak and Young are both still in the room. And what's Shadowgrasp doing?
We already rested and we're back, or we're just waiting on.
If you went up, if you this would be happening downstairs while Locke was upstairs sleeping. So if you went into, if you would have went up into a room to, give yourself a room for a while, then you would be upstairs at this point.
No, I think I would have eaten and then probably grabbed a shady corner booth or corner table somewhere and cracked a book open and started reading it. So I would have been present, and I'd probably be more alert to my surroundings because I'm afraid of being found out. So.
Okay. Then go ahead and make use of your advantage, because smell perception check again, if you would.
Do I smell anyone doing anything interesting? Or see them with the 14?
So this very sort of disheveled looking guy that's come in, um, you being that you're a city Loxodon, you don't have that much exposure to it. But he sort of smells dirty, as if he's been around a lot of barn animals or farm animals or some other various form of like animal life. Or been out in the woods somewhere. He's got that look. He's got that smell to him of someone who has been around animals a lot. And yeah. Make of that what you will. Oak sort of. I'm going to give him a perception roll too. He has huge perception, but whatever. Yeah,
Casual 29.
indeed.
Next time I get a feat, I'm probably gonna get that same feat because having a +0 to perception is fucking infuriating so much.
So and Yang is like she's focusing more on her drink than what's going on around her, so she's probably not going to really see anything either, or see anything herself because her perception's not all that great.
Nat 20. Oh.
6. Yay. All right. So if anyone's nearby Oak, he sort of tilts his head and quirks an eyebrow up towards the new guy that just came into the room, but doesn't really say anything because you guys have sort of split off from each other and sort of had your own space while in the tavern downstairs. And afterwards, guys still passed out at the counter. And Locke makes his way back downstairs.
Yeah, much better. Okay, I'll quickly look around and catch sight of everyone.
Yep.
You got a little smudge on your face.
Shut. Okay, where are we getting situated?
Well, I was kind of hoping that you could have some sort of insight on a Joy.
Well, what all did you discuss while I was up taking a nap?
Try to figure out how to distract the guards away from the warden's place or wherever the warden is. Because it's pretty much the only one that can probably do it and not be arrested.
Well, there are a few ways to go about it.
So I actually have a question to GM out of character. Would my character potentially have the confidence to come up, or the confidence to come up with forging an official document summoning him somewhere?
I mean,
because I think that I would have dealt with enough paperwork in and around the courthouse that I could probably do it. My question is, would Cad be... I'm confident to try it, but would Cad be confident to try that?
I mean...
Like, would there be an official summons sort of document that I know is a common thing and thus I could do it, basically?
Do you have proficiency in history?
Not proficiency.
But
I mean, that was sort of my career before they locked me up.
Go ahead and roll.
That's the main reason I'm asking.
Go ahead and roll for me a just like a straight intelligence roll.
This can only end badly. Boop.
Okay. Yeah. I would say with the 14 intelligence roll, given time to sort of think about it, you're able to reason that might be something that you could do because you worked with paperwork all the time, and even in Kabbretten, so you would be able to potentially put together and forge a document of such a thing.
Okay, so then thank you. So now back in character, I could write an official summons. I could forge an official summons and have him called to go to wherever you would find convenient so we don't have to walk into the lion's den, so to speak.
Possibly. What I was thinking is, it's worked before. I could, in theory, just use my telepathy thing on the guards outside the outside to lure them away by making them think that there's like a crime happening somewhere nearby, and then they're going to be stuck looking around for that for a while.
I say
I did something similar with that one orc back in a Vegas, or whatever the hell its actual name is.
Rydell.
Rydell, thank you. Mysterious voice in the sky. I did something to that same effect with a half-orc in Rydell, made it sound like someone made an incredibly racist remark, and he went sauntering off to deal with it, and that bought us a little bit of time.
Would it buy us enough time to go in and do what we need to do and get out before they return, though?
It would buy us enough. It would buy whoever's going in enough time to slip in, and if all went well, then they could wrap up what they were doing. I mean, seeing them going in wouldn't be a problem at that point. It would be getting out that would be the problematic part.
Well, for what it's worth, as Game Master, I gave you that potential option as a sort of a rule of cool kind of thing, because it was cool at the time. But having thought about it afterwards, I don't know if you can do a ventriloquist awakened mind. It seems a little odd. Because when someone's hearing sense. You from awakened mind, they're hearing you in their head rather than hearing you with ears. So you can't do a thing of throwing your voice to a different spot when they're all hearing it all in their head. At the time, I gave that to you because it was kind of funny, but
okay, fair enough.
Ultimately, there'd also be it might be a good idea to try to scope out the guards first to see what it is you're in fact dealing with.
Yeah, that's a good point. Whoever said that. Let's go. We should probably scout things out first. Yeah, good point, Young. We should probably just scout things out first, see what we're dealing with before we. I mean, you can't exactly figure out how you're going to navigate the castle if you don't have a map yet, right? Same basic principle here. We can't figure out what we're doing until we know what we're up against. So, I remember where the warden's office is, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yes.
Both you and Sylvan.
I think we all do, except for Yock. Oak.
All of you know where the warden's office is, except for Oak and technically Cad.
All right.
Granted, you went past there, but you weren't actually you didn't officially meet the warden.
Right. Okay. Tell you what, I have this thing I can do, if you all remember, where I can make myself invisible for a while. So I'll head in that direction. I'll scout it out as a invisible little skunk and come back once I have some info for you. Does that sound good for you?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You think it's wise for you to go alone?
Fewer people meet. Yes.
So I have a question. When you use Awaken Mind and you establish the link, does the other person know that link is there until you say a word?
I don't think so. Oftentimes I have to even explain to them what's happening real quick if they haven't gone through it before.
So my question is, what if you awaken mind to a guard that you're about to slip by and you say nothing, but you establish that link? So then would you be able to hear them if they say, "Oh, who's that?" or whatever?
No, it's not quite. It's not the same as reading one's mind. Not even close. I can only sense thoughts that they direct at me if they are intending for it to be communication. I can't read even surface level thoughts if they're not with that explicit purpose. It's a means of facilitating silent communication. It is not a means of probing one's thoughts or secrets. So no, I can't use it that way.
Idea.
Oh dear. Yes.
Okay.
You just have to be within a certain amount of feet of a person to awaken mind, right?
Yeah, 30 of them, to be precise.
You have to be 30 feet away.
Yeah.
Or within 30.
Can you do that while invisible?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've done it before.
Because invincible is concentration, and then
Awaken mind isn't a spell, so.
Okay.
It's just a thing for me. It's like snapping my fingers. As long as I'm close enough, I can do it.
Why don't you just make threats to the warden? Or make him seem like he's going insane?
Well, you see, I've done that already, and I'd love to do it some more.
Well, then act like you're a higher god or something. That you're giving him warning of potential trouble coming from the east.
That
Or
is
something.
What is east? Does Locke know?
What is east?
What is east? What is to the east? Do I know? What would I roll?
Roll history.
Rolling history.
It was just a
Practice.
suggestion. It could be any other.
So, potential threat that could come from the east that Locke could potentially see as a way to make a threat.
It could be any direction, honestly.
It could be any direction, yes, of course. But you made that specific distinction of east.
As an example.
I know, but it's still funny.
I'm asking the dungeon master for that distinction.
Okay. Well, in that case, I am going to put to the west because that's still on the island, or still on the primary continent, and we go off the map on way to the far right. And you would know of it, living in Sevenora, of its existence anyway. A threat coming from the gorge to the west.
All right. Interesting. I'll keep that in mind. But
anyway.
Refresh my memory specifically what we're trying to do with the warden. We're trying to get him to leave town?
I believe that was
I was asking that in character.
Yeah.
Oh, no, our goal is to try to get him to lessen the guard around him so we can go and talk to him and convince him. Yeah, it's supposed to give everything up and leave town and try to live a more, would it be pious life?
More honest work instead of
the
corruption uses. Okay, well, you see, there's a way I could theoretically do that, but it would be hinging on something that I'm pretty sure isn't a thing. Okay. See, a ways back, some weeks or so back, before you left Yukiegi, my patron, Vindsvept, did his thing, and I don't really know the term for it. He never described what it's actually called, but for the sake of simplicity, he projected me, an intangible, invisible version of me, into the warden's home one night when I caught wind that he'd gone back on his word to me. And I changed my voice in that intangible state to sound like a fucking demon, damn near strangled the life out of him, and made it perfectly clear that going back on his word to me was a bad idea. So that he, my father would actually have the out that was arranged.
Well, that's the thing. Does he have the out that is arranged? How do you know that's set in place?
Well, everything that I've come to understand about the situation, and from Vindsvept's own word, and given the fact he can project me like that in the first place, I'm inclined to believe it, is that this guy's going to be keeping his word for the foreseeable future, and I haven't been given any indication that he's gone back on it. I did ask Vindsvept to let me know if he did, I believe, so I might be wrong. I might be misremembering that detail, but point is, if I can... See, the thing is, the way I presented that malevolence initially was as something that knew what he was doing, just automatically, without having to ask, without having to probe. It was a force that knew what he was doing all the time, and as such, lying to it would be fruitless. Because it would know if he went back on his word. It would kill him, and I would not have hesitated to do so, honestly. But if I suddenly bring up the matter of having to actually ask for confirmation about whether or not he's stuck true to his word, that raises the issue of throwing doubt onto the omniscience, if you will, onto that persona. It suddenly gives it an aura of weakness, something that could be exploited. It makes it susceptible to deception. And that would make the whole angle of using that to get to him completely pointless. I can't just hang out outside of his window invisible and use Awaken Mind to say, hey, could you send your guards away for a minute? Some people want to talk to you. That would just be weird as hell. And the voice that I would need to find a clever way to make that happen. I can't just ask politely. That wouldn't work. But I also don't want to use that malevolent voice because it's pretty much dead set focused on Dad. And I don't want to start bringing in a whole bunch more because, well, that's just going to throw suspicion under the whole damn thing if this guy's at all smart. He's an absolute coward, but if there's one thing I know about cowards, having been one myself for a long time, is they tend to be smart. And they catch on to ploys.
So, what if I was to forge a communication that's not supposed to be seen by him, that we intend him to see, like communication from one other higher up to another higher up, that's saying that they believe that he's implicit with the escape of the wanted fugitives, and that when he least expects it, he needs to be taken out. Or we could word it however we want, but maybe we could scare him by letting him come across that, and you could take it with you invisible and drop it off with someone who would give it to him, or drop it off where he would find it.
The question then becomes, how would that make him send his guards away? Because that's the thing. We want to have the guards scatter so that we can go in and have our little chat.
If he doesn't trust his guards, then he might want to send them away before they find out of these orders or whatever.
So have it be worded as though like his own guards have been paid to dispose of him at an opportune time?
Maybe they haven't been told yet, but maybe that's the plan, so that he might want to send them away before they turn.
Out of character question, the warden's office, does it have like someone who handles the delivery of like notes and mail and information and whatnot?
Oh, yeah. I think we've met her.
The receptionist, right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, okay,
So
so
go talk to her.
well, if Cad could come up with that particular note, that forged document, that correspondence, theoretically having it, okay, here's the idea. Have it be addressed to just the warden's office, with the hope being that the implied hope being behind the imaginary sender being that it would just wind up with the local guards or whatever to get them in on this notion of taking out the warden, who has been suspected of somehow being involved with us getting the hell out of Dodge.
Him being a coward, he would definitely be afraid and would definitely feel forced to do something.
Indeed, be it get out himself, which, would save us a step, honestly, or it would make him ask his guards to leave for a little bit so that he could feel a little safer about that, because he got this correspondence that was meant for them, sending them away so he can dispose of that correspondence. That would be one outcome. And of course, as I already said, he might just get spooked and try to run the hell away.
So here's an out of question character. An out of question. Sorry, I've not had time off of work, and I've had multiple nights of 3 hours of sleep. So yeah. Anyway,
this character is out of questions.
This character is out of question. Okay. So we've all been in and around the warden's office multiple times.
Yep.
And he resides upstairs in the same building, was my understanding. Is that right?
I think
he resigns.
I remember you said it was like all together.
It's all together, but it's not necessarily. It's relatively close together, though not. I don't know if I had said. It's close enough together that it might as well be the same building. If I said it wasn't before, it was because they were close. So,
okay. So, would any of us have any sort of knowledge of how many entrance and exit sort of ways there would be for that building?
I imagine probably.
Like, is there only the front door? Is there a back door?
Silver walked around it, sort of scoped it out a little bit previously. There is a front door and there is a back door, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, and I
Or,
imagine
no.
the guards would be somewhere around the front, most likely.
Front door, back door, and a side door that goes into the actual like more den and home side of the building as opposed to the office. The front door leads to the office, back door leads to like the office itself and what serves as a kitchen for him, and then he has his den area to the side door. So 3 doors: the side door, front door, back door.
Okay, so cue the heist music. We scout out the doors and find a good line of sight where we're inconspicuous enough no one's going to bother us or care about us, and we watch the other exits. And Locke goes in and delivers whatever the crazy note is. He's either going to send the people away or try and sneak out himself. If he sneaks out, we can sort of persuade him to go where we want.
Alternative, if I may stop you for a moment, an alternative. I look like, someone smeared a bunch of colorful makeup on my face, whereas you, with your amazing hat, you look like this tall and imposing and honestly kind of scary, shadowy elf person. Considering the contents of the letter you're going to be forging, it might be prudent if you were the one to deliver it. It would make a degree of sense and would add a degree of fear factor to the notion that there's shadowy dealings going on, that this guy is getting pointed in his direction. Having this tall and imposing shadowy elf man be the one to deliver the note saying that he's going to be slaughtered by his own guards would add a layer to that.
Why don't you just, use the nice lady that we met?
Oh yeah, we deliver it to her, have her take it to him, and there you go.
Yeah.
But she would obviously mention who brought it. Making them spooky looking would help with that at least a little bit.
Would they let me walk in?
If you said you had something to deliver, maybe a parcel.
Or you just go find her away from the guards.
I could mail the letter to the office, but I don't know. We'd have to wait, I guess, a day for it to arrive there.
That would take too long.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory out of character. Did they stop us when outside the doors when we actually went there, or was it just when it's a public service office? Can you just walk in?
That's the thing. There was no guards there at the first time we went. Now there's guards there.
Yeah.
To keep an eye on things, obviously, but would they stop someone walking in?
The first time you went through, it is a public establishment for those who are in need of help with lawsuit type cases and things like this. He's not a judge, but he's a warden that works with those types of judicial circles. So yes, previously there was, with reasonable cause you could just walk in if you had something that you wanted to discuss. But even that first time that you went, you had to speak to the guards to get inside of to speak to the warden the first time. And then the security was a little bit laxer because nothing crazy was going on. This time, however, the security is much more imposing, and therefore you would have to have some means of proof of your own stature or worth or some sort of variance thing for you to be let in. So.
I have another stupid idea.
Yay.
I have a hat of disguise. What if I transform into a different Loxodon? I have their warhammer and I know what their armor and everything, how that looks. What if I transform myself into a higher ranking guard than the guards that are there and issue to them some command that they have to go somewhere immediately?
That could work. A lot simpler than what I was thinking.
So how about first, before we do all this, we actually
Well, that's the thing. You gotta think. Is the warden higher than...
He's not wanting to be
command?
higher than the warden. He's wanting to be higher than the guards so that he can order the guards away.
Yeah.
Yes, but the guards are there protecting the warden, so they have to listen to the warden.
Either way.
But if the guards are just standard guards, there's a hierarchy, and higher elephants are more important than lower elephants are more important than not elephants, was my understanding.
Yes.
If a high guard comes and tells a normal guard, snap to attention, I'm pretty sure they would do that, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
Probably.
they would. So let's first roll some stealth so that you guys can scope out this area.
I mean, I was thinking Locke was going to do the scouting thing out solo because he has the invisibility thing.
Oh, that's true. So yeah.
So you want to do that and come back? Tell
Yeah,
us?
so, and I have a +5 to stealth, so I'll have Locke pop invisibility and go scout it out. Or rather, he'll pop invisibility once he's getting close and scout it out.
I grab a paintbrush and move towards Locke. Does he get advantage? Since I
No,
want to help.
that's not how that works.
no.
And besides, for him to roll stealth when he uses invisibility, he has advantage anyway.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So I'm going to spend a spell slot, cast invisibility once I'm getting fairly close. Okay. Let's do an advantage stealth roll. What do we get? Nat 20.
Oh, nice. Wow. And the first roll wasn't that bad either. Holy crap.
This is what happens. You have a +5 stealth. It kind of doubles like a backup rogue, I've noticed. Like, we definitely want Young to be leading the charge in terms of roguish shit, but if she's not available, I can definitely fill that role to at least in terms of the sneaking aspect. Can't
Okay.
backstab worth a shit, but I can sneak.
All right. So I mean, they're not gonna see you, but I'm gonna roll it anyway. Oh, hi. How about that?
So that's a 23 against my 25.
Yeah.
15.
They were helping each other, so I was rolling it once with the person with the best perception. 'Cause that's how it would work among party members. I didn't want to have to roll perception. The amount of times this would take for you to do what you're going to do. So, good thing you had a nat 20 in there.
Yep.
You sneak around and you go through with your invisibility, and you see these you see among his guard, he's got the 2 human guards that you had seen previously, or like the 2 guards that you had seen previously. He has 2 Loxodon guards now, and he has 1 Loxodon guard that has a slightly different garb to him that you've seen, similar to the armor that Cat is wearing. But in total, he has 5 guards, 2 of which are human, 2 of which are Loxodon, and a 3rd Loxodon that's seeming to be of a higher caliber.
I'll note down any distinguishing marks or symbols in the uniform for reference so that I can bring that back to Cad, seeing as he used to live here a bunch. He might be able to tell, what those individual marks mean and what their ranks are and whether or not it would be realistically feasible for him to assume the position of someone of an even higher rank. Because generally speaking, the higher ranking you get, the fewer of you there are, right?
Yep.
Because there's a fuck ton. You'll have a fuck ton of privates, but you're only gonna have you're gonna have significantly fewer captains, and you're only really ever gonna have 1 general, for instance. So
Precisely. Yep.
So the higher the ranks get, the harder it's gonna be to mimic one.
Yep.
All right. Okay, I'll take mind of all that. I'll do a quick circle around the building as well and take note of any other potential security measures, be they people or things.
You see this is interesting. How did you make... You carved it into the side of the building with your sword?
Yeah, I set my sword on fire and I sat there and I just charred out Greed. So
Under the building behind the one?
whichever one that he could see from his office.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So in scoping out the office, you see someone is... It seems to be a... actually, it looks like a half-elf male. And he's holding a... something that looks some sort of jewelry or locket. And his hand is glowing, and he's repairing the charred elements of the wall.
Can I roll an Arcana check to figure out what this person's class is?
What the person's class is? Sure.
Okay. That's a 20, not natural. I'm
Okay.
on fire.
So the person doesn't necessarily himself appear to be that magical. He might be low level, perhaps wizard or sorcerer or something of the sort. More of the magic is coming from his little jewelry that he has in his hand, though.
All right.
And by the way, with you rolling your 20 Arcana, he is continuously, like over the course of several castings, because it's a cantrip and doesn't do a whole lot by itself. He is continuously casting through the use of his little amulet, mending to fix the door or the wall.
Okay. Interesting. I will leave him to his devices then, and carry on and look for anything else of note.
You see the Dragonborn secretary from before. Seems to be you sort of see her through like one of the windows, and she's working in the office and seems to be a little bit frazzled from having all sorts of guards all around her. A lot.
Okay. Am I within 30 feet?
Of her? Yeah.
Okay, refresh my memory. Didn't we send her a letter previously telling her that, we'd found Cad or whatever?
Or Cad. Cad wrote a letter to her, I think.
Yeah,
I
someone's
sent a letter, but I don't know I can't remember if I actually announced that in character.
Yeah, that's all I remember about.
Cad did in fact write a letter, but it was never announced in character. But Locke would know that
she cared about him.
that you were going to tell her eventually, and that you were going to go and save Cad and blah blah.
See, I'm trying to remember her name.
It's in your notes.
It was originally a month name.
Here it is, Valsita, I believe. Okay. Alright. I still have Gradiriel in here as some dude nobody remembers. I'm gonna get rid of that now in my notes.
Thanks.
Hey, to be fair, that's what you were for me back then. I had no idea who you were yet. Okay. So, if that be the case, I'm going to go ahead and just put my back to the wall for a little bit and establish an awakened mind link with Valsita.
Alrighty.
And I'll say, don't say anything out loud, please. Telepathic link. Hello. Remember me, right?
Yes. Locke, was it?
Yeah. I'd be really appreciative if you didn't mention to anyone that we're communicating right now. I'm technically wanted in this city right now.
Yeah.
You're aware of that, are you?
Kind of hard not to be when I work for the warden.
Yeah, fair enough. I suppose that makes sense. Well, you'll be... I don't know if you're aware or not, but we managed to get Cad out.
It was you sent that letter when you first went to Rydell, and then you were in Rydell for a couple of days getting the hat, and then...
I thought it was sent from Yukiegi, but alright.
Well,
No,
he actually...
I didn't have paper until you were frightened on the road. We went in the forest to weird random off-the-road place, and then we immediately started going south. We didn't stop in a town until... What's the town that's north of here?
Rydell.
There's two of them, too, between...
Well, you went... You sent the letter in Rydell when you were getting the hat.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it was it was a couple days ago, and then it was delivered by...
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
It was a couple days ago, and it was delivered by, like, parcel snail mail sort of thing, because that's the best way that you had it, because you weren't going to pay for a bird. He's... Oh, I actually got his letter this morning. I'm so glad that he's okay.
He's with us right now. Just as a heads up, we're all in the city, though he looks different. A hat makes him look like a really tall and spooky, shadowy elf guy. So, just figured I'd inform you about that and check in, make sure everything was all right. You know, friend of one of my friends. God's a great guy. I'm surprised, honestly.
He's a lot different than other Loxodon.
He gives me piggyback rides.
she like laughs internally, of course. And like it's a very much it's a laugh that doesn't surprise her in the least. She very much is. It's good to hear that he's got some friends then.
Yeah, I can see why you like him. Anyway, I need to be getting a move on. Just figured I'd let you know everything's still going all right. Take care. Then I'll
You
cut
all
the
be
link
careful.
and keep moving. I'll cut the link and keep moving.
Yep.
Anything else, or is that about it?
That's about it.
Okay. I'll make my way back to the others then.
Okay.
And like drop the invisibility. Like if I can manage to slip in without having to like fiddle with the door at the end, then I'll like make myself visible again at the table with everyone else. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm still riding on that nat 20 stealth.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Okay, so I find some way of slipping inside, probably just following closely behind someone else as they come in. And then
You actually, by the time you come in, the guy that you didn't really encounter very much because he was just literally asleep at the table when you came downstairs. The sort of disheveled human fellow.
the local narcoleptic, I know.
Yep, basically. He's making his way out as you come in, and with your high enough stealth, you just sort of slip past the door when he's going back outside.
Yep, and then I'll go and I'll just sit down at the table with everyone else, wait a couple seconds, and then just fade back in.
Okay, so how successful was your little spy mission?
Remarkably, they definitely have stepped up security. From the 2 guards they had before, they now have 5, some of which are Loxodons, and one of them looks to be pretty damn important.
Uh-oh.
I'll look over at Cad and regale him with the details I took down about his appearance and uniform and any noteworthy symbols.
So what do I know? Voice in the sky.
Yeah, you don't even have to roll for that. Because the armaments and like symbols that Locke describes on this guard is the tier up Loxodon guards, the ones that you trained with.
Okay.
So you know that this is among the guardsmen that of the ilk that you were supposed to be a part of.
So I guess I would relay that information back to the group then. That he's one of the higher guards, not super high rank, but has more access, treated with more respect typically.
And so it would be more difficult to fool.
I'm not sure. I still think it could be a good idea, but I don't know if, with him being there, I don't know if me being his superior would be best. I could be someone of equal rank to him and say that I've been sent to come and summon them and give them some sort of document. It's like, I don't know, they just want me to come and get you.
That could work.
Or just dress up as a courier and do it that way and be like, I have a report here of summons. Instead of trying to be someone of the guards, where the higher rank you get, the less people they are, so it's it's really hard to.
I mean, if he
being
disguises
someone.
himself as a low-ranking individual, that would probably work fine, frankly. Because, I mean,
Yeah,
they'll
I mean-
often use lower-ranking individuals within their ranks to shepherd messages around.
The higher-ups aren't going to run around if they can yell at someone else to do it.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, do it that way.
That could work. The question then becomes, we'll need a good reason for them to shuffle off. And a location to send them to. Preferably somewhere that's relatively far away. Something down to
Though we
earth
should
enough
probably
to...
let something slip in that letter about maybe the warden being investigated for something.
But if I present this evidence to the guards, then the guards are privy of that. We mostly want to scare the warden himself.
Yeah,
Yes, but we want the rumors going around so people don't trust him.
Right.
We're hurting his reputation.
Right. Well, near as I can tell, this current variation of the plan we're working with was decided on as being significantly less complicated than what I was suggesting, in that we just get the guards away by luring them somewhere else, and then we all just waltz in. No need for a complicated conspiracy theory.
Right.
Yeah, we just need to get in there. We just need to get in there for like 10 minutes to talk.
I've been saying that from the beginning. Just like get the guards away, so we can go in and get shit done.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to nail down right now. I feel like we lost communication at some point.
Well, and this is Yong speaking up. Well, what if you just... I mean, I know it's simple, and you don't necessarily want to use... Wait. Okay, hold on. Can you disguise your voice whenever you do the Awakened Mind thing? Can you sound like anyone you want?
I think so, yeah.
What
I
if
mean,
you
I've been able to make it sound like a calling bird before.
I think that was just luck.
So
That was
what
just
if
Locke.
Excuse me for a second. I'm sorry,
Anyway.
I'm back.
The warlock is going to kill us once we leave. Once we get to level 20.
I am so glad that's not my real name.
so what if you use your Awakened Mind and you talk directly to the warden and you try to disguise your voice as Noro's to tell him to send off his guard, and that Noro had someone that was going to come to speak to him or something.
I could try that. The problem is I haven't really heard Noro speak, I don't think. I've heard him yelping in annoyance and pain, and he said a couple words, but not enough for me to really nail it down.
Right.
I mean, I chucked a fireball at him, he growled at Oak for a minute, and then it all just deteriorated from there. So that would be a wonderful plan if I knew what his voice sounded like. Wait a minute. I turned to Oak and established Awakened Mind. Can you start ranting at me in Noro's voice? You know him pretty well. Hooray for loopholes!
That's the thing, we don't know if it...
Can someone think in the voice of someone else?
I mean, it's how imagination works.
Well, imagination is different for everyone.
You established the Awakened Mind link with Oak, and he's like, yeah, kinda.
I'm Nara.
And he
Just like pick some things he said that you remember pretty clearly and ramble them off at me. As accurately as you can.
I'm not going to try to attempt to do the voice you did for Nora earlier, because I'm not talking as him right now. So,
Right.
but basically, he rattles off a bunch of like insults and establishing that from his viewpoint that Nora was essentially a bully to him. And you get a sense of his voice, and yes, Oak if we can say that awakened mind can allow anyone to change what their voice sounds like because thoughts, Oak can most definitely rattle off a bunch of things that he's heard in Noro's voice from when they were kids.
It would make
Well,
sense.
I would
so-
have to be. I'm sorry. I would have to be a party pooper because it's like, for me, when I think in my mind, I don't think in other people's voices. I think as in like I'm sitting here reading a book out loud.
I mean,
Right, I know.
yeah, but here's the thing. I can do that too, but I can also imagine things in other voices. That's pretty much how a large chunk of how my when I'm reading a book, whenever a character is speaking, I don't read that in my voice. I read that in the voice of the character that I've imagined in my head. Or if I'm reading a fanfic, it's the character's voices.
Yes, but you also have to rely. You're also a voice actor. You
Yes,
It's
yes.
true for a
manipulate
lot
your
of people.
voice.
I know, but
It-
it's true for many, many people.
Ultimately, it doesn't really make
So
much
Locke
difference.
has to roll performance to do it.
Kinda, yeah.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
okay?
Yeah, a good
Um,
compromise.
Yes.
Do
Do well, so we can just skip this.
I'm gonna roll performance for Oak, actually.
Okay.
Because you're going to have to imitate his imitation. So if he does, okay, he did well. So if that's well enough, maybe you get advantage.
That would be nice.
All right. So yeah, you have a pretty
you guys
good
go back and forth.
You have a pretty good-
go for a few-
idea of what Nora's voice sounds like, and the fact that he's a punk and a bully from when Oak was kids.
All right.
But the thing is he that now?
Now he's just crazy.
Yeah.
The older position of power, too.
And the thing is, would he have used something like Awaken Mind to communicate shit to people?
Is it widely known that Noro is a magic user?
Yes.
Then it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I can give it a try if you're all willing to trust me with that.
About as good as any other plan that we have.
Okay. If it works, then those guards aren't going to be gone forever, so I'll probably want to have you all on standby. So you're all gonna tag along this time, but, stay a block or so away and I'll come get you if it works. Sound good?
Oh well, I
Well,
don't
how
think you'd
about-
have. I don't think you'd have to come get us if it works. If it works, the guards are gonna leave.
Right.
Yes.
All right, fair
But
enough.
if he says one person, we could send Cad in, disguise, and Cad can knock him out, and we'll just jaunter in.
All right, well.
I think we have some degree of a
Because
plan
Cad can
now.
look different.
Yeah.
So just to make sure I've got all the deets down here correctly, I'm going to sneak up there, probably invisible again, get up close to the window and awaken mind with the warden himself in Noro's voice to tell him that, asking him to send his guards away for a little bit because someone is coming to speak with him about something exceedingly critical or something to that effect. And he needs to be alone for it, and then we march in if that works and the guards go sauntering off.
Right.
And then
Yep.
we talk to him and convince him to pick up his shit, tuck his tail, and get the hell out of town. Does that sound about right?
Sounds about
What
right
does
to
the
me.
warden think of Noro?
No idea. We can figure that out later.
What if he's
Um,
afraid of that and the guards feel like a protection so he doesn't want to send them off? What's the backup plan?
Well, I mean, if he's afraid of Noro, then would he really be so willing to openly defy Noro like that?
Hi, I'm sending a messenger. You're afraid of me. Send off your protection. I don't know.
We'll have to see how you'll have to see how the conversation goes, but I think this is a reasonable potential idea, and maybe in the meantime, Cad forges that letter, and
That can be our backup plan.
our backup
The
plan.
thing is, if we do that, we need to be really close by.
Right.
Okay. So let's go forth with this plan.
All right.
So you guys,
Silver is out with her hood up, so people have a disadvantage at perceiving her.
Okay.
And
once-
stealth rolls across the
course.
board for those that are getting close.
Yep, and once I get closer, I'll pop invisibility again. I'm taking up my last spell slot, but, that's fine. Gives me advantage on stealth, which is nice to have.
Nat
Oh.
20.
Okay, nice of you, Silver.
Well, she has advantage because of her cloak.
23 stealth for Locke. Stealth offense.
Oak,
Now let's see if our rogue and
yeah. Oak is going to
Herbog.
roll with advantage because he's going to get it. He is going to go invisible too. Because he has that.
All right.
Yeah. And then we have
Yawn.
Yawn. This rogue,
anything, y'all could probably sneak in through a window
Probably.
and unlock the back door for us.
Probably. Like, did I spot guards around the doors, the back doors?
Oh yeah. Okay. So
Oh.
yeah, you're all relatively effectively stealth. The lowest is Oak, but you're pretty well stealthed and safe.
Nice.
Okay. You're good.
Okay. Alright then. Then I will make my approach.
We need an initiative order chart of stealths.
Do we though?
Well, I have the highest. I'm like gone.
Technically, you don't have the highest. You just have a crit. But crits
Yeah, I
add
have a
ex-
crit.
crits. I would allow crit to be higher than the ones that aren't crits, but
Still, it's like I'm up there with Young and be like, we're sneaky bitches. Goodbye.
Okay. Now then. I'm gonna go ahead and move Locke up to the nearest window to the warden's office, invisible as he is. And I'll peer inside. Is the warden seeing anyone right now?
nope, he's working at his desk.
Okay. Okay. Here's nothing. Got shaky fingers going right now. Stress. All right. So I can just grab whatever voice I want when doing my impersonation of Noro, as long as it's close-ish to what I did last time, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Okay. All right. I remember that being vaguely deep-ish and gravelly.
Something
right.
like that. Yep.
I'm actually feeling a little anxious right now. I don't know what we're doing if this fucks up. All
I
right.
tried to cover that base.
I don't know. Establishing the link. Ping! What was the warden's name out of character? I forget. Did we ever learn it?
You did not ever learn it.
Yes. I thought we did.
You.
Okay. I'm going to cut the link, realizing that I've missed that. I'm going to circle back to one of the other windows. Is Valtata still there?
Yes.
I'm going to establish a link with her and ask, quickly, what's the warden's name? We never actually learned it.
Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend.
Okay, he's Lucas.
Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Quick and easy.
Once Valzada says, I'll say, sweet, thank you. Cut the link and cut back around to Lucas's window.
Huh?
And set that link back up. Lucas. In Noro's voice.
His response is to look around.
Don't panic. I'm speaking to you internally. Magic. Fun thing. Listen, I'm sending someone your way. Needs to talk to you about something very urgent. I'd rather not get into details here. It's very complicated. But for the sake of secrecy, would you mind sending your men away for a little while? Tell them to take an early lunch break.
Roll for me deception with advantage.
Alrighty. Lucky me, I get a +6 in deception. That's a natural 20.
You are the new headcanon for his voice.
Pop, 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 pop. Bravo, bravo.
Oh, I'm relieved of that number. 26 natural 20. Fuck yeah.
Wow.
You feel the lives, the years coming off.
All right then. You looking at him through the window, he gets very visibly terrified and scared, and he's I Yes, sir. Yes. And you see him get up and rush to his guards.
Okay. I'll keep myself within 30 feet, if at all possible, to observe the proceedings. So I can follow him around to the front and watch from around the corner.
And he quickly orders the guards away, and well, he orders most of the guards away, except for the single Loxodon and higher scale armor, because he still wants to have some form of protection. It's just he then speaks to that guard in very sort of hushed tones at your distance. He's whispering them so that you can't hear what he's saying.
I can't even make a perception check to try.
You can try. I'll get you a 20 crit again, you bozo.
I don't see my luck being that good. 16 though, that's not bad.
Okay, then.
Phone call.
Hello, phone.
Ring, 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 ring. Phone call, phone call. Sorry.
Of course not. Okay, so yeah, he goes over to speak to the Loxodon guard and ends up screaming in his ear loud enough for you to hear.
This is Stage Whisper.
Holy crap! Weird, crazy laugh. Good grief.
Stage Whisper.
We have a problem.
Yeah, basically. We have an issue. Noro just contacted me. We need to. He's going to have someone come and visit me. So there's going to be somebody that comes through. I wanted most of my guards gone so that somebody couldn't do something stupid. But I'm going to keep at least one person here because I still. But suffice it to say, someone is going to come up. Don't question them. Don't ask. Don't do anything, and just let them come on through. Okay? The Loxodon sort of tilts his head at him and simple nod, and that's it.
Okay, nice.
And then you guys outside all see the higher ranking Loxodon from before. Actually, roll for me a wisdom check, Cad. If you're near your okay. Yeah. You don't precisely remember his name, partially because I didn't actually come up with one for it yet. But you don't remember his name. But this is one of the Loxodon, higher ranking Loxodon that had previously trained you. When it didn't really take very well, but this is one of the guys that trained you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but the other guards scatter and make their way away. And yeah.
I'll slink back to the group and whisper to them. Might be wise to wait for a minute or two before we make the approach, just so it's not, too abrupt.
I thought we were all scattered.
Well, I mean, I'll like gather everyone up then, like an alleyway somewhere nearby or something.
Yeah.
Is the person still over there mending the wall?
No, they fixed it.
I thought it had been mended by now.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think they're gone.
Because
It's been several days to fix it, and through all the headache and hecticness of trying to get things situated where he felt like he wasn't at risk, he focused on getting himself protected and going through the right bureaucracy steps to get him a good set of guards prior to fixing his wall.
And what time of day is it again?
Afternoon.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And remember, the guy who was doing the repair work wasn't overly magically inclined himself. So for some reason, shakes the locket. For some reason, this thing only works 3 times until I go and rest. I don't know.
That'd be hilariously inconvenient.
Yes.
Yeah. If it was nighttime, Silver would have gone and like wrote it again in the same spot.
Bad Silver.
All right.
Because it was in a spot that was hidden away from the guards.
It was.
So
Anyway.
All right.
So
Okay,
what is the plan here then?
Wait for like 60 to 120 seconds and then make our way in, I suppose.
well, who are we going to send in? Because you only told him one person.
You, I suppose, since you're the one who's the most die-hard about this.
What?
You're the one who wants to get rid of this guy so much.
Yeah, I want to get right. Okay.
Hey, you're the justice monger here, but would you rather we send somebody else?
Wait, so there's only one person. Does that mean the back door is...
The back door is not protected right now.
So the rest of us could slip in there while the lead person, who like the one that the Locke will be expecting, goes into the front.
Yes.
If that be the case, let's send Cad disguised as Shadowgrasp, because that'll seem fitting.
What do I say?
Just
You need a different voice than that.
He won't ask you anything. As I overheard what Lucas said. They'll just let you wander right in. So just go and make your way to Lucas's office. As soon as you're in, the rest of us will slip in through the back and meet you there.
Okay.
Okay. Don't say a word. Just like give a small nod of acknowledgement, and that's it. And just go.
And try to look intimidating. Once you get in, fold
That's
your
it.
arms, look pissed.
Yep. All right. Everyone clear on what we're doing? Young, you have the capacity to pick the crap out of locks, yes?
Yes.
Okay,
Hope you're
then
quick about it.
then you're in charge of opening that back door.
Can do.
I can't cast invisibility again, but just to be safe, Oak, can you do that at will?
Yeah, it just doesn't last very long.
Well, then you might want to do that yourself, so that just on the off chance this screws up, you don't immediately get noticed and implicated. All right?
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay. Unless there's anything else, then let's break and do it.
All right. So, how does Cad wander up to the doors, the front door there?
I guess I would be moving, trying to seem confident and on a mission, like nobody's going to get in my way. I want to get in there before anyone stops and asks questions or has a chance to notice something's off. Usually if someone seems more prepared and more knowledgeable of what's going on and what they're doing, they're less likely to draw attention to themselves. So
Right.
I guess I would boldly go.
So the question that I have for you, sir, is due to the nature of what's going on here, and do you think that Cad is actually confident in what he's doing? Is the guy is in the
Probably.
protection? Okay, good enough. I was just putting that out there.
I mean, if someone notices that the disguise is a thing, they're not going to immediately know that I'm Gradiriel.
This is true.
Just don't bump into anyone.
Yeah. Whenever someone sees through a hat of disguise, they know that something is off, but they don't necessarily know what that entails.
Yeah.
Alright.
Apparently I've been given carte blanche that no one can stop or intimidate me. So that would also give me a big boost of confidence that I can just march right in past them. I don't have to confront them. I don't have to say anything. Just go in.
Yep.
So
Alright. So, you
silent
saunter.
wind of strut. I
Yeah.
strut in the front door.
You saunter up and go straight through. You see the imposing Loxodon figure that you remember from your training days. And you push your way inside. As Locke had said, he doesn't give you any sort of means or any sort of like resistance or anything like that. He gives you a subtle nod, which you probably nod back, and that's about it. And upon making your way inside, you are in the front reception sort of area, and you see the little silver dragonborn friend working at her desk. And she sort of looks up, but she's been told what's going on too, so she just sort of, she almost seems scared for a moment, and then she sort of seems to register and think about something, and you actually get the barest hint of a smile.
Accomplices.
You did give her a decent. You did give her a vague description on what Cad was using to look like with the hat of disguise.
This is true. So, I'm assuming that I would see this little hint of a smile. So, I would like to have big, intimidating, shadowy character also smile back and give like a wink. And I'd like to bolt or latch or however these things work the front door.
Yep.
And I just give her a real friendly smile and another wink and a nod. And I don't want to go to his office. Is the back door of the building from his office, or how is the back door? What's the floor plan?
There's like a hallway that leads into like the more residential part of the building, and the back door is at the end of that hallway. And that's like next to where his office is. Yeah. As far as that goes, you could be working on that to make your way over to the door while a certain rogue is attempting to open a lock.
Not me, of course. I'm not a lock to be picked, but you know.
Yeah. Yes, it's fine. Okay. So you sort of make your way and look over towards the doorway. At about that time, there's and you see the door slowly creak open, and you see Yang make her way inside with your other friends as well.
So as they all come in, I sort of gesture them to come in, and once everyone's inside, I want to relock the door.
Okay. Right, of course.
I'd also like to tap on Silver's shoulder, and when she looks at me, I would like to, because I imagine it's pretty much just the receptionist up front who's not seeing us, and there's not anyone else around but us, right?
Right. Yep.
Breaking and entering. So I'd like to tap on Silver's shoulder, and when she looks at me, I'd like to use the hat's magical powers to make me look like the warden for just a moment, and then switch back and sort of shrug. Is that possibly useful?
How are you doing that?
Like, basically, I've seen the warden before. I know what the warden looks like because I worked with him, right?
Yeah.
So hat of disguise can make you look like whatever, whoever, wearing whatever, right?
Yeah. I mean, I get. Yes, so, you can turn yourself into
as a visual suggestion, because a transformation's worth 1,000 words. I wanted to basically bring up, by the way, I don't know if it's helpful, but I can randomly look exactly like him if we're trying to freak him out.
I see.
And then I go back to my other guys.
No, go back to that. Go back to the warden.
But you want me to look like the warden?
And she nods.
Okay. I now look like the warden.
You'll go into the room first, then we'll walk in after.
This is gonna be fun.
You should tell him that I'm the new warden, and I'm here to replace the old warden.
That's what I was going to say. Be like, see, you're easy to replace.
We can't trust you anymore, so I'm
Oh.
the new Luke.
Now you get it?
I just realized something.
What?
That's funny.
What?
So, head of disguise. You can change your appearance, but you can't change your anatomy. You're the warden with only 2 arms instead of 4.
Yeah, so that
What?
won't work.
What race is the warden?
The warden,
Freaky.
the warden is Simic.
And he has 4
He
arms
has-
and a tail?
He doesn't have a tail. He just has 4 arms.
It's
has-
still easy. I turn into the warden wearing a cloak that's pulled around him.
To hide
Okay.
the arms? Okay, that's a valid method, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, could be.
And I want the cloak not to be like a dark black cloak, like a sneaky rogue sort of cloak. I want it to look like a regal, like I'm rich and I'm flaunting it at people.
Gotcha. Okay. Anyway,
Sure.
but yeah, that's an interesting point there. But you now have the warden's office. Door shut, of
And
course.
I lean over to Locke before we go in. You're gonna do all the talking, right?
We will.
Okay, good.
you just stand there and look
Proud.
proud and replacing.
Yeah, and if need
Got it.
be, smash his desk if things go south.
I'll ping you with my telepathy thing if it comes to that. Now then,
Okay.
after you, big guy.
So without knocking or any sort of thing, I just open the door
Slowly
and
open
confidently step inside.
I was going to say, open the door slowly. Dun dun dun. Somehow the door got a lot squeaky.
All right.
It farts at you.
So
You really need to get that door oiled. Anyway,
so you guys
Well,
want
she
to?
got it.
Slowly open it so it creaks, and as soon as it stops creaking, I slowly close it so it starts creaking again. And then no, I wouldn't actually do that. That's stupid. I'm trying to be impressive.
All right. So you guys wander inside, and you see that the warden is sitting at his desk. He was sitting at his desk, staring at the doorway, waiting for whoever it is that came inside.
sweating bullets.
He's
Yeah.
sitting at his desk, watching himself enter the room, and wishing really bad that he had my cloak.
And also, it's worth noting that you guys had visited with the warden before, and this was a person with a relatively messy and sort of disheveled, like way of being about him. He sort of was the type of person that had a organized mess. He could find everything, but the room did not look like organized at all. His room now looks clean and organized and proper. There's nothing wrong with it,
Trying to impress.
Twilighting, he is.
kind of. And so he sort of does this like double take when he sees himself, and then he's of course a disguise. That makes sense. What can I do for you?
And
I
then
sort of step in a step and step to the side a step and look over my shoulder at the door.
yeah, and like Silver walks in with the cloak up and be like, as you can see, you can be replaced easily.
I grin really big, which is probably very uncanny for him.
Yes. Yes. Do you have business? What can I do for you? He is visibly very, very terrified, but he's trying to maintain his composure. Failing, but trying.
I have an idea that I kind of want to go with.
Go for it.
Okay, sure.
But-
We're just
but-
throwing
but-
ideas together.
I kind of want to run it by everyone out of character first, though.
I mean, that makes sense.
Okay.
Aw, that takes all the fun away. Just do it. We react.
Fair enough, but I'm worried it might throw things for a loop.
Do it anyway.
Okay, Dora, refresh my memory. With what Locke knows, would it be reasonable to assume that Nora was the one who ordered Frederick be kept in prison for longer despite a significant amount of
Yes.
his bail being paid?
Yes, most
Okay.
definitely. Yes.
Okay, all right, then I can roll with this. All right. And of course, Locke looks different right now, right?
Yes. Slightly,
Okay.
but yes.
Oh
Alright.
yeah, we all look slightly different.
I
I
look
look
different.
No
We
wonder
all-
why he hasn't said anything about who we are.
Actually,
Anyway.
We all look modestly different, at least.
hold on.
Perception. Well, no, it'd
Um,
be insight because Silver talked.
Yeah.
So someone had it was mostly like a 19 and 11.
I had a
on-
19, Locke
You
had a
can scroll up.
17, and Young had an 11.
But I don't think it matters for Young because I don't think she and the warden have met.
Right.
I don't think.
No, they
He-
have not.
He knows that she's in a disguise, but he doesn't know her, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
Who failed? Because it looks like everyone aced it. The lowest I
Except-
see is 18.
Well, that's a 17 that he just rolled.
That was to perceive that was the warden trying to perceive us, right?
Yes, and Silver passed.
Yeah.
The
Mine was a
lowest stealth
my-
that we rolled was an 18.
That's not
Disguise
I'm
is
not-
what
No,
he's rolling
it's a
against.
disguise.
And my
We
disguise
came out
number.
Then my-
Stealth when we walked in.
I didn't scroll up high enough.
Yeah, my disguise is a 17, so he probably recognizes me.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, my disguise is a 19. So,
So he's still very much scared, but he sort of sees you and recognizes Locke, and he's just, what is going on here? And by the way, at this point, Oak, who has also wandered into the room, last to come to the party, Oak locks the office door behind him.
Okay, I will quickly awaken Mind with Silver and just as quickly as I possibly can regale her with the information about how, let her know that Noro probably was the one who wanted Frederick to stay in prison for a long time, and so would be unhappy to learn that the warden had gone back on that, seemingly on Nora ordering that be extended.
Yep.
So that would be a good thing to bring up, that Noro isn't happy with people ignoring his orders. I quickly just spiel that out at her really quick and then just stand off to one side and look kind of I do my best to look unreadable.
Okay. So you have the floor, Silver.
I'm gonna go put on dungeon music because this is creepy as hell.
yeah, so it's like. She already said it's as you can see, you can be easily replaced. Noro isn't happy with you. Giving
Now-
fact is you haven't been following his orders. Like, I believe he. Wait, out of character.
Okay.
Does Silver know that Locke had told him to get rid of all the guards?
I
You
And
had
that's so-
relayed all that before, because I know you told me that I could just walk.
Yeah, we
straight
were-
in.
yeah, but that's not the part I was talking about in terms of disobeying orders.
Well, no, I know. I'm just adding to the fact that I'm using something that just happened now because you told him in his mind that to get rid of the guards,
And he
And he
left
kept-
one. I see what you're doing. So you're adding another
Yes.
thing on top of that.
adding truth to it.
Okay. Carry on
Fair.
then.
Okay.
So Silver would know that Locke would
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
told him. Okay.
To get rid of all the guards, but he kept one.
Yeah, you don't seem to be following orders given to the fact is you just disobeyed one just now by keeping a guard.
Have to protect myself. Why is Noro choosing to work with a relative of someone he put in prison? Explain to me that.
Can I awaken mind and have the spooky voice that I've used to haunt him in the past say, "You do not want to trifle with them. Shut up and listen."
Intimidation at advantage.
17.
I What do you want?
I need everything that you know on Nero. And I
Noro,
wanted to
yes.
go. Naro, whatever.
It's like Zorro, but with an N instead of a Z.
Naro. On Naro. Then I want you to forget all of it and leave. Don't come back, or else your greed will be your death.
And what of my position then?
She gestures to the person that looks like the warden and be like, you won't be missed. So I'm giving
still
you a
sporting the same awkward, creepy sort of grin, and now I'm slowly nodding with said grin.
You see, I'm giving you a chance to live here. So give us everything that you have on him, all of your dealings, and then you need to go away. Or we can just simply dispose of you, and no one will be the wiser.
Let's see. I feel like that this would be an intimidation sort of a role.
Yes.
On Silver's part, of course, with advantage because she's getting all kinds of crazy help.
Like, would that be like double advantage or what?
Well, double advantage is not
It
a
is in
thing.
fact double advantage, which cancels one disadvantage. That's it.
No.
22.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. All right.
Um.
Plus 7 to your intimidation roll. Jesus.
So you yeah. This is not just me as DM. This is him. He's I don't understand. Noro sent you here, but yet
Yes. To deal
You're
with
here.
you.
I've done nothing wrong. I've done most.
You did. You are disobeying his orders.
So I
He doesn't like that.
reinstate his orders then. I follow through with everything that he told me to do. I go back on everything else that I did that was against it, and
No.
Awaken mind, voice in his ear. Remember my warning. This fucker's kind of in a corner.
I okay.
I'll give you 1 more minute. Make your decision. Do you want to die? Or do you want to live?
All right, so now he has 10 rounds. Go. What's he doing round one?
Start scrambling for all the shit that he needs.
Yeah, kinda. Which he can do so very quickly because forearms.
And he actually organized it also. It's like right in a neat pile.
Yeah. He gets his stuff together. He has his bag. He is very much whirlwinding to get all of his stuff together to get the heck out of Dodge.
And I've been asking for like all of his dealings presented to us. We're taking over.
So Silver,
Mm-hmm.
roll for me a dexterity save.
Oh God, what is
Oh, he's
happening?
gonna try bump into me, isn't he?
No, not
Pocket
as such.
No.
Not as such.
Normal, disadvantage, advantage,
Normal.
what?
Normal.
Oh no.
Okay. So he tosses to you a stack of books that hit you in the face and land on the floor.
Oh! She's like holding, like slightly holding her nose,
I didn't mean to
and
throw
she's
them at you.
glaring at him.
I didn't mean to throw them at you. I totally meant for you to catch them. I was expecting, this intimidating presence to be able to catch. I'm so sorry. And he actually gathers them up to hand them to you.
She takes them like aggressively and growls and be like, "Leave."
Would have been even more
Yeah.
intimidating if you just said, "Make that 10 seconds."
Roll for me.
Well, she just told him leave, as in like get out now.
Right. Right quickly, roll for me a perception check, Silver.
19.
Wow.
We
Okay.
are on fire today.
So
Except for that,
as-
we failed dexterity save.
Silver's
So-
Batman. Silver's Batman.
All right. So
Yeah. So what do I say?
he you growl at him, you grab all the stuff. As you're grabbing all the stuff from him, you've got like 2 or 3 well no, not 2 or 3, like 4 different individual books, like proceeding the like documentation of all the different paperwork and things that he's done for Noro in the past, and things that he's covered up and all sorts of other crazy things. And with the 19 perception, you're able to see that there is a like a glyph of some sort of magical arcane glyph that is on the back of his neck, that as he's doing all this and he rushes past you to get out the door, it is subtly glowing like a green, almost green sort of purple color on the back of his neck.
Do I notice that?
Roll perception. Or you could
Natural
Damn,
20.
I don't have anything against it. So if it's what I think it is, I can't do anything about it.
Do I know what it is? Can I roll an Arcana check?
You very much see it, so yeah, roll Arcana.
Another natural 20. What the fuck? Why are we rolling so
Holy-
good
We
today?
Badasses! It's gonna
Okay.
come bite
Holy
us in the ass, but we're
Wonder
badasses.
why all these are succeeding.
It's gonna
'Cause
bite
I'm
us
still
in the
standing
ass.
there grinning and nodding.
Jeez.
So do I know what this weird glyph is?
Okay, yeah. This is and you had to have rolled something like that to get here, because this is not something that actually exists in normal D&D stuff. This is a variation on a sort of subtle mind control glyph sort of a thing. This is basically something that effectively works similar to that of a shock collar. If he does stuff that is against Noro, it's going to zap him, and you realize that it is currently doing that, and that's why he's so pained and scared.
Oh.
It's not just
Okay.
Silver.
Oh, so this is working in our favor. Okay.
Okay, it actually lends credence to it. Although it could also, once he has a bit of, although he probably won't have enough time to actually think it through before it actually like zaps his head off of it. Do I know whether or not it'll actually go that far? Will it actually kill him if he goes too far out of line?
As far as you can tell with your nat 20, and you don't know a whole lot about this particular spell because it doesn't exist normally, but, and yeah, it looks something similar to that actually. It's very creepy and dark looking. So basically,
Does Oak happen to know anything that can dispel magic?
Or the spell dispel?
That too?
uh,
For future reference?
as it stands, you are able to tell that at worst, what this spell is capable of doing is two things. One, it's not going to kill him. It's going to knock him unconscious if he goes too far, but it's not going to kill him. And one big thing that it'll do is it will inform.
Ooh.
So though the nature of how well it informs a person, you don't really know. But you're able to discern with the Nat 20 Arcana roll that this is a glyph of basically do what you're told. If you don't, I hurt you and I know.
Ooh. Okay.
Knock him out so he doesn't have a chance to disobey.
He's already
So
is.
I'll
Yeah.
quit. So I will awake.
Well, he's on that path.
So I will awaken mind to Oak real quick and be like, do you happen to know any way of canceling magic?
Let me see if he does. I don't remember what spells he has access to. Okay. Oak speaks up and he's, yeah, I do, actually.
I nod at the sigil on the guy's neck as he's wrapping him and say, dispel that, please. The sigil. Try to be subtle about it.
Okay. I can try at least. Boop.
Okay.
Is...
Would it be considered a third level spell?
No.
Well, okay.
What level is he casting it at?
He's casting it at third because that's the highest level spells he can cast.
Yeah, so.
Which is also the only reason why he has it, because the spell magic is third level.
So the DC is 10 plus the target level, right?
Yep. And it is spell casting ability.
It should be on the...
DC is equal to 10.
Plus the spell's level, so whatever the level of the glyph is.
Right, yeah. So spellcast, it is not spell attack, but spell casting. So
Spellcasting ability, yeah.
it is, by that sense, then it is a wisdom check. Oop. No.
No.
So Oak
You
reaches
could just
out.
leave it alone and let it draw out Noro.
Oak sort of holds up his hands, and his hands sort of flash this blue, green, sort of teal kind of color, and then he's sort of holding his hand out towards the guy's neck as he's running off, and then his hand sort of, basically it's like his hand gets pushed back, and he pulls it away, and it's too high a level.
That's not good. Once the guy's gone, then and heads out the door, which I assume he's doing as quickly as possible.
Oh yeah, he stumbles out of the way, almost runs into the Dragonborn as he's running out the door.
All right.
And then he stumbles out of town, and he's getting the heck out of Dodge about as quickly as he can.
That is
which anyone who watches him when he goes out, he
Yeah, it's like we're watching and be like,
he actually
this was
goes out.
easy.
He runs out, and instead of running forward and away, he actually runs to the side, closer to his side door, which you guys can see him going through from the windows and other various things. And he actually just using the brickwork of his house, or his building, which there's subtle little places in the wall where it's not entirely flush. It just initially to you guys it just didn't look as well designed, and he basically uses his forearms to climb it like a monkey, Meh. And he gets up to the roof and starts doing some rather effective acrobatic sort of things to get the heck out of here.
Parkour.
Yeah,
Parkour,
pretty much.
parkour. Yeah, pretty much. Nice.
So I'm
Um,
imagining
So
some
we're
sort of
just
what is
like-
it? Hulk flinging himself from roof to roof.
Something like that. And for your statement prior, if I was to give this warden one particular one level of a given class, it would actually be monk.
All right. Okay.
So we're just like watching out the window and be like, once he's like gone, she was like, that went a lot easier than I expected.
Yeah, but there's a complication.
What's the complication?
Did you see the sigil on his neck?
Yes.
Noro's going to know that we fucked with his people, and that could throw a monkey wrench into things moving forward.
Well,
We want to draw him out, yes, but I was hoping we'd be able to do so under the pretense of him not knowing that someone's working against him like this.
Perception check of 30, holy crap.
Holy shit, okay.
Also, I do believe he's passed out on a roof now.
Yeah, so that is going to be
We
Nora's...
just-
So yeah, that's going to be Nora's alarm, so he's going to be aware that something is up. Oh boy. I don't know how long it'll take for that guy to show up and get ready to do anything, so what are we going to want to do here? Do we want to lie in wait and ambush him when he shows up, or what?
That's the thing. Like he could be sending, could send multiple people, which we might not be able to handle. I say let's take all this information that we have. She's like going through a sentence, and then she stops and looks at the Dragonborn. Right.
She's got a very sort of deer in the headlight. Like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah. Sorry, we just ran your boss out of town, and we're pissing off his boss.
Okay.
Do you have a sigil on your neck?
She slaps at the back of her neck and she's, not that I know of.
I go and I look.
It's like, turn around, let us look.
Okay. And, no. I mean, you can roll perception if you want, but no. Not that you can see it.
Oh, okay, that's good. I then point at the guy who... I then point at Cad. Cad, by the way, go hug him. He's wearing a hat that makes him look like other things. You saw him walk in earlier.
I don't think Cat likes to. Whatever.
Hug your friend, damn it!
We went through all this trouble to break him out of prison.
I mean, she can hug him before anyone shows up and then not say a word, is what I'm getting at.
Well, I think she probably should need to go away.
Yeah,
I mean, she knows my voice. I could talk out and
Just
say, you know,
say
I'm glad that she got the position. I'm proud of her. I knew she could.
okay, then she's gonna hug you.
I love it when
All
a
of a
plan
sudden,
comes
she's
out.
hugging something that's like,
Yeah, when she goes to hug, she's expecting you to be thinner because you're like the lithe elf, and then
no,
you-
not the elf, the
I would still be looking like Lucas,
Oh,
which
yeah.
would make the hug incredibly awkward.
yeah.
Because, like, she'd run into you before she actually threw her arms around you.
yeah, that's kind of what happens because she's sort of klutzy, so she's like, whoa, right, disguise. That's how that works, and then she hugs you anyway.
Locke has this very smug, self-satisfied look. I love it when a plan comes together.
Right. So what are we gonna? So, I have all these books.
Wait, what,
Waiting.
I wouldn't know that the glyph was activated by her doing bad thing. About them doing things against Noro. So
What?
Yeah, you don't have any idea how the glyph works. So
yep. So she's just like
I did kind of
thing.
briefly explain it. You know,
yeah,
that Nora would be aware. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about how the glyph the reason why the glyph was glowing was because he was doing things
Yeah.
against Noro.
All right. Actually, that's a good point. I'm actually gonna have Locke turn on detect magic real quick because I can do that and check out her. I forgot her
All
name
right.
again.
All right.
Yeah, that would reveal the.
Yeah, Valazita.
Okay.
I think.
So you roll detect magic,
I mean, I don't need to roll anything. I just see it.
or yeah, you make use of detect magic. He does not have a strong magic aura about her. But there is a very soft, faint even, magic aura about her, though it doesn't seem to be malicious in any way. It's actually because you can get your types of magic with your thing.
Yeah, I can nail down school.
Yeah, it actually seems to be a very faded, or not faded, a very soft divination magic of some persuasion.
All right. It would probably be wiser for you to not be here in the next 30 minutes, Valdita. Chances are
yeah,
some of
I was.
Nora's...
She sort of backs up from her hug against Cad, and she's, yeah. I was going to do that. I mean, if you run my boss out of town, it's reasonable to say you probably did that to me too. So,
Alternatively, you could just go get lunch and pretend you were completely oblivious to all of this, and when you're questioned, if you're good at lying, they'll let you off the hook and you'll still have a job, but you might have a better boss.
I would say not risk it and just get out of town.
yeah, I think, yeah, it might be best for me to just find somewhere else to go outside of town. I've kind of wanted to get out of this town anyway. I mean, I did.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Okay. You do a lot with like paperwork and sorting and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
I turned to Oak. Do you still have a message today?
I do. Yeah.
Can you ping my mother really quick and ask her if she could use someone like I gesture at Valzita, an organizer, a sorter, someone to handle like notes or whatever.
If
like-
anything, I think the mayor could, because that old gnome.
Right.
I
Either my mother or the mayor, doesn't matter, but I turn to Valzita. Chances, your best bet if you want to actually keep in touch with like us and Cad would be to go to Ukiegi. My mother works there for one thing. She runs the library. And alternatively, you could probably seek pretty decent work at the mayor's place. You could probably use some extra helping hands.
Okay.
Lengthy trip, but I imagine you can take care of yourself. You have fire breath, don't you, or some form of breath?
Silver Dragons is cold, isn't it?
Yes.
So yeah, she's. I have frost breath. Yeah.
Silver's gonna be like, but real quick, can you write up a formal order to give to a guard? For
Yeah.
us, so we can give it to a guard.
We would probably need to get rid of him, wouldn't we?
Yeah, probably, because
Well-
we still have one standing right outside, too.
Yeah, we can just leave through the back door. We'll be fine. But this is for another guard. Your dad. We want to get him out of town quickly before Noro could use him against you. Right? It's already bad enough that there's a risk that Noro knows where you live.
Refresh my memory. Dad? I didn't realize we'd spoken with her dad.
No, your dad.
Your
my
dad.
Oh, my dad.
That's in prison.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I zoned out there for a second.
Make the most of the situation. Save daddy.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So, I suppose that would be a good thing to try. Yeah. Is that within your power to do?
If I could forge a document to
We got his handwriting right here.
And lots
I
of
could
it.
assist.
That too.
That too.
The only thing we're really limited on right now is time. So if we're going to do this, we need to do it snappy.
Right. So I could forge the argument saying that something happened with Lucas and that he was fired and then he disappeared and no one knows where he is, and that's actually documentation that has been made previously involving Noro, so a lot of higher ups wouldn't be confused and he would already know what's going on, or at least something is. So I don't know, maybe he
Yes,
just
but we're just trying to get this kid's dad out of the prison.
Yeah. His name's
So I
Frederick.
don't think it needs anything to do with the warden. Is that we need to use the warden
We need to use
initials.
the warden's handwriting and signature
right,
to
okay.
draft up a release order.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, Cad, can you help her out with that?
Yes.
Okay, then please do so.
Right like the wind.
Yep. What are the rest of us doing? We need to make sure we're dividing our forces efficiently here.
We need to keep guard, keep an eye out on the windows and stuff, and see if anything starts coming our way.
Okay.
On that
Okay,
note, there is a very loud, very aggressive knock on the locked door.
The front door, right?
Front door.
We didn't lock the front door.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you
Cat
locked
did.
the front door? I thought
Yep.
you locked the back door again.
He locked all of the doors.
I locked
Oh.
all of the doors.
Well, he locked the doors that were outside of the office. Oak locked the one in the office.
And then had to unlock it to let the guard,
Yeah.
to let the warden out. Oh, that's not a good sign. I'm out of spells. I don't have anything to turn that guy away right now.
Is there a window that I can look out to look at the front door?
Yes.
Okay, she's going to do that, and then she's going to cast Hold person.
Okay. This is escalating.
Okay. What is the roll for this? Wisdom. Double check something right quickly. Seem to recall.
I know I'm risking it. I know it has something to do with the Loxodon ability.
I mean, hold person is not a frightened thing.
No, it's an enchantment. It makes them hold still. They have to make a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed
Right, yes.
for a minute.
That, and then I check this thing, because thankfully I know what sort of class this character is, too. Yay! Even though I don't actually all the specifics of it. There it is. Okay, so no. What is your DC?
15.
Okay.
Damn it!
Oh no.
And she's just like looking. She says some things in magic and be like, "That didn't work."
Okay. So,
I guess she goes and opens the door. If anyone else wants to open the door, they can. If not, she is.
Locke is still in the room with Kat and Valsita, like he's like guarding them at the moment. I don't know what Yong and Oak are doing. I was about to suggest that Oak should probably head outside and go monitor the unconscious guard, but at the moment that's no
There
longer
is no
feasible, so-
unconscious guard.
or the unconscious warden, excuse me.
Oh, that's up on top of a roof.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
figuring it might be wise to have her go and monitor him just in case like someone came to retrieve him, but that doesn't seem to be an option now.
okay. So you go to open the door, yes?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Roll for me dexterity save.
Oh
that's
god.
it. Loxodon?
You.
No, I'm guessing. I'm the person that I saw outside the window. I'm guessing it's the Loxodon that was standing out there.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's a dex save.
Yep.
21.
Okay. So you open up the doorway and you get out of the way long enough for the lumbering locks it on to come charging through the door that he was just about to smash
Oh.
through. And,
Good
And-
sir, there was no need for that.
and he crashes into the Dragonborn's desk. And yeah,
Sir, there was no need for that.
no need for that, really. That's not him talking, but
Silver is saying that to him as he keeps barreling in.
yeah, he is not a happy elephant. So
Would that be a persuasion with disadvantage?
probably, yeah, that makes the most sense.
Oh, okay.
Just roll a bunch of 20s, please, for fuck's sake, roll a bunch of 20s.
10.
Nope, okay.
What is going on here? He is staring you
Am I-
down.
We are. Wait, who is he staring at?
You.
You?
There is business being handled for Noro.
Why was a spell cast on me?
He would know a spell would have been cast on him?
Yes, he does.
Wait, what ability allows that?
I mean, the fact that he had to shrug it off. He would have felt the spell trying to take hold, and he had to shrug it off.
He
Yeah, but it
wouldn't know,
doesn't say anywhere.
he wouldn't know what the spell was, but he would know he's been hit with something,
And that he resisted it.
and he shrugged it off. Whereas something like Zone of Truth or other such spells you know what the spell is, and that's the stipulation that's written on the spells. Most other spells, it's commonplace that if you shrug off a spell, you know something went wonky, you just don't know what it is, and you know that you resisted it. But anyway,
What spell are you?
business for Noro, you say?
Yes. And what are you talking about, spell?
Someone someone cast a spell on me.
Oh, yeah. And you thought it was a good idea to barge in here and assume us?
The
When you
spell
should
was...
be standing out there and trying to.
Roll deception. No advantage, no disadvantage, just deception.
12.
Okay.
Told you guys. It's gonna bite us in the ass now. Please fail, please fail, please fail. Damn it!
No!
He sort of looks around in this room at the group that has amassed in this room, and
I mean, Locke's still in the office. This is the lobby
Yeah.
they're in right now, right? The reception area. So,
yeah,
as I understand it, right now, Locke, Val, and Cal are
Cad.
all in the office.
Yeah.
I don't know what Young and Oak are doing.
Cad, Val, and Locke are in the office forging the document behind a locked door, and Oak, Young, and Silver are in the receptionist office with Big Elephant Man. So roll for me initiative, we will.
Woohoo! A combat encounter in the session. Pull up the turn order button, please.
Yes, please.
I'm assuming it's people
that
in
needs to
here
be.
that are rolling.
Yeah, well, you guys will hear the commotion.
Imagine we heard the commotion when the door opened and the guy slammed into the desk.
Yeah, so you guys have a note of, oh, that's not a good sound. We need to hurry.
Yeah.
By the way, do I know if this is the same person who trained me who was outside, or if this is someone different? By
You
voice,
at
I
the current
guess.
you at the current point don't really know. You're more focused on forging to focus. Well, roll perception.
There was roll which?
Perception.
Perception.
Uh,
19, pretty good.
yeah, you know it's him.
It's the guy that originally stayed behind outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I am going to roll initiative. I'm just starting from the other room.
Yeah, we just need that knockdown.
Quick thing, Kenneth, to make this easy. What is the specifics on you getting advantage on initiative?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I always get advantage on initiative unless there's a surprise round against me, in which case I can act normally the first turn if my first bonus action is rage.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So you always get you always get advantage on the initiative rolls
Technically,
then?
I would.
Be the
You
same.
would be a 17.
Well, 17 was the best, so it would be.
Yep.
17.
So sort of slow.
Quit rolling 20s. Quit rolling. Oh, these are for our party members. Keep rolling 20s.
No, those ain't for your party members.
No,
They're
those are for him.
okay. So combat.
Nice.
I
Young got a
ver-
new
I-
token.
Yeah, I got a token for Young that's not distorted because that's been bugging me for months.
You do?
So at some point, swap that out.
Just eventually.
This Discord has a round token.
Oh, I got it. Yeah. Okay. I'll
One that isn't distorted to hell and back.
Since we
Yeah,
all
okay.
seem to like round tokens.
All right. I'll
It's
fix
just
that later.
if you use something that's not a square in a square grid, it's gonna get stretched and distorted, and that bugs me to no end.
All right. So yeah, combat begins, Rar, and
It's his turn.
yeah, it's his turn, and he is going to
Rip.
rage and
Aye.
smack you.
How many times is he gonna smack me?
Yes.
No.
How many times is he gonna kill me? Yes. How epic do you
17?
want this song to be? Yes. I love that. I just love that. It's so good.
17 misses.
Yeah.
Okay. He has extra attack. He's hitting you again. 8 missed you
8
again.
misses. It's like,
All right.
oh, you're making
Is
a
it-
fool of yourself.
My rage has blinded me!
That's
That's why you're making a fool of yourself.
There's mystical, magical, spirity things flying around you.
Oh, dear God. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So, my
Oh,
goal.
by the way,
would be
you now
to-
you now see that he is wielding a hammer similar to that of the one cat has.
That's okay. So he has a hammer like cat. Okay.
How do you get into this room from inside, or is it outside only? So yeah, my goal would be to basically rush the front door. I'm not trying to go to him. I would want to get to the door.
Why? He's the only one here at the moment.
Exactly. So I have
He
a
wants-
movement speed of 40. My goal would be to get to the door and barricade it.
Ah.
I don't
So-
want him running out. Is
Okay.
the door? Is the door like he bust in? But I imagine the door is still intact and hanging.
Yeah, because Silver opened the door just
Silver,
as he's
okay.
about to bash
he
it.
went
Last
he went to
second.
burst in the door, but Silver opened the door. That's why
That's
he
why
ended up
crashed
with.
into the table.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Good. So. move
So
token.
if you want to get
It's gonna be a dash.
Yeah.
it, you can't quite get to the door with your 40-foot movement speed. And you would have to dash. And then if you dashed, you're not a rogue, so you're using your attack action to dash. So you could get to the door, but one, he would get an attack of opportunity on you when you run past his melee.
That's fine.
And two, you're not going to. You could get to the door, but not barricade it.
No,
go
because
first.
he technically has 80 feet of movement, right?
Okay, from where I started, my full movement would y'all can see the arrow, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
From where I started, my normal movement would get me down to here. So that's like it was like 45 to get in front of the door. So technically my
So
normal
if you go off to the side,
uh-huh.
out of his range, unless he has reach, and do an angle, you won't do an attack of opportunity because you will be outside his range.
Well, I pretty much have to dash to get fully in front of the door anyway, so I might as well
Use
loop
up all that
around it.
movement. Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm doing a dash to specifically get like 5 more feet of movement, so I might as well use the other 35 as needed. So, yeah. My goal is then to get exactly here.
How did you do that and put yourself off the grid?
Alt.
That's just how boss elephants roll. We're all off the grid.
Oh, I see. Alt. Okay.
Yeah, hold alt. And then when you
Alright.
forget to hold alt, you just like click your character, you snap to grid. So
Alright, so
I guess that would be my turn then.
you sort of charge out of the doors, like slide against the wall to get away from his range and make it to the doorway itself.
Yep. And I guess I would be turning to be looking inward.
Right. Silver,
So I'm
you have an elephant that just ran past you.
You still look like those-
no. we had a I was about to say Kevin. What was his name? We have a Lucas that just ran past.
in a fancy cloak.
In
Oh,
a
yeah, that's right.
very, very nice cloak.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, so there's.
So he should totally skip a turn and be like, what? He's great.
And Silver is just gonna be like, doing business. No.
So yeah, Lucas just like ninja runs to the door and turns around to face inward. I'm done.
Oh.
Alright, Silver.
Naruto.
Yeah, she's not happy that he tried to hit her, so she's gonna hit back.
Yep.
First, she's going to do Hunter's Mark,
Okay.
and then just turn. Okay, yeah, she's gonna whack him and then smite him.
Okay.
So. Whack.
Two
22?
hits.
That much damage. Let
Yeah.
me roll.
16. None of it is fire.
Yeah, hold on, there's more. Do. What do I need to roll? 3d8.
How much damage did you do? 16?
16 with my sword and fire. Well, 7 slashing, 9 fire, 23 radiant, and another 3 damage.
Damn!
Okay, so
Let me whip out a calculator and figure out what all that adds up to.
I got it, you're fine.
I
What-
must
what
have
is the
curious.
dis-
I did.
What is the D6 is from Hunter's Mark, right?
The 1d6 is Hunter's Mark.
Does it say what kind of damage Hunter Mark does?
It's just an extra 1d6 damage when I hit with the weapon attack.
Weapon damage, then I would say.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's just straight up damage.
Non-elemental, non-expected.
So it is same as weapon damage, I would assume then. That means you did 7 slashing and then 10 slashing with the extra 3.
Yeah, 10 slashing, 9 fire, 23 radiant.
Okay, so 10 slashing becomes 5 slashing because he's raging. 9 fire puts him here, and then 23. I need a calculator.
She's like, you tried to hit me, you're fucking everything up.
So, because
This
I
is
could
going
do simple.
so well
I could
until the
do
guy suddenly felt a disturbance in the force.
I could do simple
Yeah,
math up until that point. Okay.
now he's just gonna get hit with a lot of damage.
Actually, Kenneth, real quick, click your spelly, your ragey, spirity thingies.
Shit.
What's the wording on what they do?
So click the name.
Ancestral protectors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
click the name.
Oh. Oh.
Oh
The
yeah,
fir-
he didn't hit me.
He's got the warriors around him, but they're not around you because he didn't hit you. Okay.
So.
Okay, dokie. But for sake of looking at it, you would have had disadvantage on that attack roll had he hit you. But that's okay. So.
Yeah.
I don't need that. Okay, Oak, Loosh. What's the plan here, Silver? Are we trying to subdue him, or what are we doing?
Oh no, that's a disadvantage on any attack that's not against him. So I would have to attack him just to have a normal roll.
Right, because it's about protecting his allies, and he has no allies. Duh. Okay. So yeah, Oak's calling to you as part of his free action type thing of, what are we trying to subdue him, or what are we doing?
Yeah, knock him out. He's raging, as you can see.
Yeah, I got that. Oak.
How does he look after he just took a heavy hit from Silver? Oh, actually, I actually have one more attack, but I didn't use it. Oh well.
Oh well, next time.
You only did your first hit, and you have extra attack, don't you?
Yeah, so don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Alright, so... Okay, so... Oak is... Like, he hears that you're going to,
Well, that's the thing. He's playing as Oak, so it's not too late.
Right, yes. So, boop.
Oh,
Wisdom saving throw. And his spell DC is based off his charisma, not his wisdom. For guard spells.
Yep.
So it's 1 point less. His charisma a little bit less. So DC 14 and wisdom save. No.
yay! He's laughing.
So
Now they all know.
So, Oak sort of whips out his, what is that instrument that I said that he had that it's called again?
Loot? What was it?
No, it was something that started with a D, I think.
Dulcimer.
Dulcimer, yeah. So, Oak sort of whips out his dulcimer and plays, like, a very, comical, almost banjo-y sort of riff on the thing, and, yeah, something like that.
Banjo-Kazooie theme.
And for some strange reason, he locks it on his ears, like twitches as he look at big ears. His ear twitches as he hears it, and then he just poof falls over laughing. And his spirit thingies go poof.
Do we just tie him up now?
Oh wait. Yeah, okay. I would assume that might be the best idea. Unless you want to kill him. Although if you hit him, he's going to quit laughing.
I say let's just tie him up.
Okay. Well, that was easy.
I don't want to. It's like I don't want to sit there and kill him. Just tie him up and gag him.
We
Put him
would
in a
need a
closet.
very big gag.
Do we have to poke
We
him
have
for the
rope.
next 2 days?
No, we're just going to put him in a closet. We're going to go run, get Locke stout out, and we're getting out of Dodge. For now.
Okay. So, with that in mind, we still have rope.
There's one thing that I would like to do.
What?
Okay.
So he's uncontrollably laughing and all that, but he can still see us and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And as long as he doesn't get directly attacked, he's not going to do anything different.
For 1 minute.
Do I know what Noro looks like?
Roll wisdom.
Oh, please be high. Please be high. I want to see this.
Sure. You're not entirely sure on all the features, but you remember being told that he was a furball like Oak. And you do remember, like, seeing and passing a furball among the nobility. So, assuming that there's not more than one furball in the nobility class, that was probably him. So, yeah.
Okay. So I'm still looking like Lucas, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to sort of peek out the door, like while they're getting him tied up and all this. I'd like to sort of peek out the door. Is there anyone immediately by the building? I don't think so, right?
Roll perception.
Oh, right. I have to, yeah.
Not that you can see with a 10.
Okay. And
You would have
we
advantage
left
on
the-
that. Not that smell would help you here, but
Sure. I smell nada. So did we leave the back door locked then?
Yeah, we would.
Okay. So while they're tying him up, I want to disappear in here and unlock the door. And then I want to go outside and I want to go around the building and re-enter in here and transform into Noro in a cloak. And I want to come out and I want to point at him.
Okay.
And then I want to I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to screw it up, but I
Right.
just want to sort of point at him. And then
Did you-
I as my do what?
did you transform into Noro while outside?
Okay, so I am Lucas. I step outside, and as Lucas, I walk around, and then I come back in this room that he can't see through because door. And once I'm inside this room, I change into Noro. So it's implying like he was in there all along.
Gotcha. Okay, I see.
And then I come out and I just point at him. And then as I get to the doorway, I'm in a cloak, so he doesn't see that I changed my face. And I walk out again as that. And then I walk back in as the Lucas person. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to do this intimidating, like point at him like you, and then just keep on going.
Like, you fucked up?
Yep.
Roll intimidation. Sure.
Exactly. I mean, I didn't say anything, but let's see how he thinks of this. 14.
He is still currently laughing, but
Cool.
We thought it was
But
funny.
he's going to remember that Noro pointed at him and was upset.
sure. All right.
And then the mysterious Noro NPC just vanishes in a poof of logic. Anyway, continue. I saw an
All right.
opportunity to make use of the hat. The hat's a cool toy, okay?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It is a cool toy. All right. So yeah.
So we go and try to put him in the closet. If we can find one big enough to shove him into.
Yeah. So
Lucas had
Whoever-
to hide all of his
whoever is trying to move this Loxodon while he's tied up to get him into a closet, roll strength.
I think me and Kat are tied.
So probably just go together and get advantage on it.
Yeah, we would both probably do it. So roll advantage, Kat.
23.
Roll it again. You'll get advantage.
23.
Yeah, 23. So we go and shove him in a closet.
It takes
Without
a
hurting him.
it takes a bit of time,
I want
and
to
he
be
is
good here.
fairly heavy. But Yeah. So you have
I think he
him-
stops laughing as we put him in.
Yeah.
Probably.
Can we get a chair and lean it up against the door?
Of course. Yep.
Okay.
Under the
Um,
knob so that he can't burst out. I like it.
Yeah. He probably can burst out. We just want to slow his time.
Okay.
So, how's that forging coming along?
Whereabouts is the closet?
Um,
Draw a
It
brown
is-
rectangle somewhere.
probably here.
Here.
Okay.
God.
Hey, once he's in there, hey Silver, give me a hand. And I want to move this gigantic table in front of the door.
Okay, we
The-
go into that. We
the
start
front
barricading.
desk. Okay.
Let's just barricade this closet.
I mean, Loxodons are strong. You have to account on him losing his sense of humor at some point.
What are you gonna put in front of the front door then? Because that's what you're wanting to do. And isn't that door also still open?
It's unlocked, but it's closed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Alright.
he was just. I think you were just standing in front of the door, just to if anyone rushes in, they will bump into you.
I didn't want him to run and alert anyone because he came straight in. He didn't have a chance to alert anyone, and he started off by himself. I wanted to keep it by himself.
Okay, yeah. So this is fine. We got it handled. How's that forging?
That'll be a
Okay.
question for Val.
This is the
Um,
dog sitting in the room that's on fire. It'd be like everything's fine.
Everything's fine. This is
Um,
fine. I am okay with the events that are unfolding currently. Or melts off. That's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Take 7 million D4 fire damage and promptly melts.
All right. So, Cad, you coming in here?
Goodbye,
after
sweet
doing-
world.
Cad, you coming in here to help trying to finish up this forgery thing?
Sure. After the table is sufficiently in front of the door, and I would say lengthwise, pointing away from the closet, so that it has the most resistance. And
Yeah.
then, yeah,
Right.
I'll go finish.
Yeah.
Okay. So 18 for a forged document.
Okay. Then we're gonna
Is-
take that,
and
run
as
into
you
the
come,
prison.
as you come back in, Val's like, "Is everything okay out there?"
Rearranging furniture.
Okay, sure. I know it was a lot more than that because I heard a very loud, very mad Loxodon, but sure.
Cat had to get angry.
Don't go in the closet for a little bit.
Right.
If you hear laughing, that's normal too.
Well, I'm guessing by now the minute's up.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We start hearing banging.
Did you gag him? You gagged him and tied him. up.
We gagged him and tied him.
Yeah, so you hear like grunting and sort of noises. Oh, and you gagged his mouth, not his trunk.
Maybe we tied that to his body with the rope.
That's just mean.
That is just
Yeah.
mean. But he's a fucking prisoner. Mean's the name of the game.
All
Yeah.
right.
Just
So,
like- Okay.
all right.
Let's run to the prison.
I think this is a very fun moment to end this on as you guys go make your way to the prison.
One other thing, I'd probably recommend to Val that she go to Terrance
mhm.
and see if
Yep.
she can convince him to just punch her to Yukiegi.
All right.
I'll actually make that suggestion. Let him know that Locke and all of us sent you, and maybe Terrance will punch you to Yukiegi. If not,
And
just
let him
end
know
with
we'll
the-
be on our way shortly.
Yeah, if he doesn't believe you, just ask if you can wait around for us to validate the story, and we'll be along soon enough. Probably with a really.
I
scrawny
will
and
probably
irritating
just
man.
wait around with him anyway, just because it would be better for him to just, have to cast a spell once in case he has to cast it quickly, and plus I'd be going somewhere that I don't know. So,
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on your way. Keep your head down. Don't draw too much attention. We'll see you soon.
all right. Yeah.
Away we go.
And so you guys are making your way to the prison, and let-
And yeah, that's where we're ending the session, isn't it?
yeah, it is. You're making your way out of the house.
Every time we come into this goddamn city,
Okay.
something always goes wrong.
And as you make your way out, you hear the distinct sound of the desk that was against the door sliding, and then I'm going to end it there.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, we gotta move faster.
Gotta
Alright.
go fast.
So,
Next session starts with a very exciting Indiana Jones escaping the boulder elephant sort of scene.
No, I would think we would be able to go and hide away and
alright.
then sneak over
Easy.
to the
I step
prison.
outside and transform into someone else just casually chilling up against the wall. Done.
Like, what?
Okay, so ending session here. This has been Shadows of Gradiriel. It was great fun, and I love where this is going. You've, what is it? What is it in like the games like Grand Theft Auto, the star level thing?
We're like star level 3 right now.
Yeah, the star level slowly rising, and not in a good way.
Yeah, no.
So this is good. This is great. This is fun. And
It's
I
like
would
we
like
walked in with a single star and now we're leaving with 3.
and I
Yep.
would like to point out that because of that glyph and sort of the nature that I have of the created spell, Lucas is a coward. It is extremely easy to intimidate him into doing pretty much anything. That's
Yeah,
why he
so-
has. That's why he has the glyph to begin with. You were in intimidating and getting past him. You were fighting his nature of, okay, I'm scared of you. You're terrifying, but this glyph is going to kill me. Which it's not going to kill him. It's going to knock him out. But he was told it could
You
kill him.
don't know that.
So
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure that since he was getting shocked,
mhm.
it might have played into our hand a little.
I mean, he was scared. He was more scared of you than he was of the glyph. And even though the glyph, if he had not been so terrified, he would have been weird. It would have been strange to him that he was getting shocks of pain of going against Noro when you guys were supposed to be telling him to do something Noro wanted you to do. Yeah, he was too terrified to get past it because, you see, he very much believed that you were from Noro. Had you not rolled a high enough intimidation check to intimidate
Seen through it.
past his glyph, he would have realized the glyph was wanting me to do something else, but you guys are supposed to be working for Nora. Something's up.
Yeah, and then we would have just knocked him out.
Yeah, pretty much. But still, yeah, it was great fun, and I enjoyed that greatly.
When in doubt, knockout.
When
Uh-huh.
in doubt, KO.
So, with that, we shall do the. I already did the beginning part, and I will give the other part to
Kenneth.
Kenneth. Sure.
So like a join us next time sort of thing.
Yep.
And a prediction of what might be happening next.
So join us next time as the elephant learns even more fun uses for transforming into people, and we have people chasing us, and it's going to be fun.